Yo, what's up, chat? How's it going, guys? Right, Joy-Con, how's it going, buddy? Alchemist, hello, hello. Lick it clean. I swear, chat's got some of the craziest names. How's it going? What is up, devops, TTY, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Sorry, I'm a little late. I was out last night and yeah, did not get a whole bunch of sleep. So we're doing all right. But hello, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had a good week. So glad that it's actually Friday. Oh my gosh, I can actually enjoy my weekend, which will be nice. But yeah, hello. How is everybody? How have you guys been? All right, let's take a look at this really quick. Here, say thank you for the 44 months. Thank you. Okay, so today, chat. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So today I want to get the rest of this code that we were writing for automation for our Kubernetes cluster and all that. I want to get that committed, and I just want to be done with it. Mostly because I want to focus on the actual deployment, like plane. You know, I want to focus on deploying things. I don't want to focus on infrastructure for Kubernetes anymore, or at least right now. So, yeah, I since last stream, I did take care of the rest of the network stuff. So the networking stuff is committed. I did a bit of just cleanup on the automation and refactoring and stuff like that. Basically, I just continued with what we were doing. And if you are curious on how I implemented it, I get him. Yeah, dog. We're kind of not talking right now, which is fair because we still work together. You know what I'm saying? That's actually a really good response. Anyways, yeah. So like I said, the networking stuff was already taken care of. One of the things that I don't know if you guys have found yourselves in scenarios like this where you know, you're writing logic and you're like, oh, I have like a dependency of a dependency of a dependency of a dependency. Like, how do I write that? You know what I mean? And these dependencies might, you know, scale or not. And so the TLDR on like how I wrote the automation on AWS was I essentially just had that in mind where I was like, okay, I have a dependency of needing like, you know, subnets, and then those subnets then have like NAT gateways in them potentially and stuff like that. And so essentially what I did, and if we go to the logic, I can kind of explain it a bit better. Instead of having a ton of if statements, TLDR, right? Like if this exists, then do this. If this exists, then do this. And this is like a common, like this is just something I use everywhere. Like this isn't even specific to automation. Thank you for the follow, by the way. This isn't even specific to automation or things like that. This is just whenever I have like dependencies, instead of doing if statements, I normally end up doing what I'm about to show you. So if I go to network, what you're going to notice is that I start basically populating subnets. And this is kind of like where we left off last stream, where instead of being like, well, if I iterate through all of my subnets and it's tagged public, right, then do this or do this. And we're really focusing on just like what we want to do. The first step is we want to iterate through all of them and then create them. And then once we create them, what we actually do is we create a new reference with the created resource and then the arguments we gave that created resource if we need them. And then we push those into arrays. And now the reason why we can push these into arrays, or why this is nice to essentially push these into arrays instead of having like if statements and stuff like that is you just keep using for loops, right? Like this is what's nice about this type of logic, in my opinion, is instead of having like if public, if private, if, you're just going to see a series of for loops where we first iterate at the highest or at the lowest level, where we create our subnets, and then we say, okay, well, if any of our subnets were public, right? So here's the thing. If I wanted to go into the configuration, right? If I wanted to go into the configuration and I wanted to say, Here, let's do this. Let me go over here. The network. Go to network. No, entry point. Yeah. Okay, so if we look at entry point here, right, you're going to see that I have like subnets, an array of subnets, right? Well, we want to be able to handle as many cases as we possibly can, right? And so in this scenario, this also handles the scenario where there's no subnets that are public, right? Because it's just going to go through this iterator and it's going to say, oh, well, there's nothing there. That's fine. It's an empty array. No big deal, right? Sometimes I find that to be more cleanly than writing a bunch of if statements, because essentially how for loops work, if you're always iterating over that for loop and there's nothing there, it'll always work fine. So you don't have to do like weird, well, if this doesn't exist, then do this. It's just, hey, there's an array, and if there's stuff in it, then process it. If there's not, don't do anything. And so this was a really great way of being able to also pass down these dependencies cleaner. Yes, thank you, Blah. I appreciate that. I'm a bit brain dead today. How's it going, Blah? By the way, hello. But yeah, that's kind of the idea here is that instead of having a bunch of for loops, or I'm sorry, instead of having a bunch of if statements, we're actually just saying we have empty arrays by default, and then we populate those arrays. And if we have things in those arrays, then we process those arrays as we need to. So what we do is, again, we start by processing all the subnets, and then when we're done by creating the subnets just themselves, right, we then say, okay, well, if it's a public subnet, you go into the public subnet array. If it's a private subnet array. If it's a public subnet, in the public subnet array, right? And then we say, okay, we now know, not only have we created our subnets, but now we know which are public and which one are private, so we can process our public subnets and our private subnets with like whatever extra things we need. And we need to be able to do that because of NAT gateways. We said that if we have a public subnet, and only a public subnet, if we have a public subnet, then we want to have a NAT gateway in that subnet. And so that's what enables us to then, have a cleaner approach to then saying, okay, now we're going to do things with the public subnets. What do we want to do? And again, another thing that's nice about this is because I have that separation now, if I want to add anything else logically to the subnets, I can easily do that. I can just say like, okay, now we want to change a tag. Okay, easy, done. And things like that. Yo, Prime, what's up, buddy? How's it going? In a way of if is a special case for a for loop. Pretty much, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yo, what up, guys? How's it going? I feel like I just saw you all like a few days ago. And I just went live, so damn, that was very sweet of you, Prime. Thanks, bud. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? What up, brown glasses? Yo, what up? Carry on. Yari on. Hello. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Hello. Trading Tool, Ashbird. Hello. How are you guys? Oh, Nightshade, dude. You mother... Hang on, chat. I gotta stand. All right. Welcome to the stream, chat. This is how it's gonna be today. I don't actually feel like standing. Go yourself, Nightshade, dude. So this is how we're doing it today. Just kidding. How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing? Blazingly fast. Yeah, for sure. We got to make sure we get up very quick if we need to. How's everybody doing? Welcome. How's the stream? What were you guys up to today? I would imagine it was something to do with Blazingly Fast. Oh, and thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate that. Prime said you show feet. I show feet to Prime. That's what he said. He didn't say I'd show them to you. I said I show feet to Prime. There's a difference. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Yeah, Prime, hold on. This is actually something I wasn't expecting. Hold on. What the fuck is this? Hold on. What the fuck? Are you serious? Okay, give me a second. Yeah, you did. Hold on. I'm not. Yeah. 1 second, chat. Hold on. Hold on. I have to figure something out here. Okay. All right. All right, Prime. Go ahead. Try now. What the fuck? I know. I'll explain it to you later. What the fuck? Huh. Okay, let me try something else. Okay. Try now. There you go. I just DM'd you. All right, sorry about that, chat. Chat was freaking out there. Cool. We're good. We're good. Yeah. Cool. What up, guys? How's it going? Welcome. Sorry, chat was being a little weird. I had to figure out a stupid Twitch setting. Welcome, everybody, though. How's it going? How are you? So where's the feet? On the ground. Next question. I'm BG, though. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Alta 4 stream. Hello. If Prime promised you feet, I'm sorry. That's not happening. Right now, at least. You got to pay for that, so I don't know what else you expected. How could I turn off this guy's screen? Okay, so tell you what. Here's the cool part. There's actually, it's in our title. It's called Alt F4. Nail it, and you're good to go, bro. You don't ever have to worry about us again. It's very easy, very simple. It's literally in the title of the stream. Easy. Problem solved. We're already solving your problem for you. Don't want to be here? No worries. Alt F4. Welcome, everybody, though. Hello. I hope you guys had a good time. Again, I'm not too sure what you guys were doing in Prime Stream, but I'm sure it was fun. I'm sure it was awesome. I am working with Kubernetes today. Long story short, TLDR. We've been working on deploying Kubernetes to Amazon for the past a little bit. You know, Prime has 9 toes. Nice. Just so we're clear, cool. Programming. So yeah, the deployment to Amazon has been interesting. I've deployed Kubernetes to a lot of different stuff. Yeah, free money. Press Alt F4. Again, just real hard. Hit it real hard. And again, I've deployed to Azure before. And you know, I know we all have our own independent feelings on Microsoft, which is fair. You know, it's totally fair. However, this is something I've been doing more recently, which is I've been evaluating Kubernetes deployments on different, Command Q as well. There you go. You can always do that as well. I'm evaluating different cloud providers' deployment methods for Kubernetes, mostly just because I'm curious. I work with Kubernetes a lot, and so it's something that's like very interesting to me. Have I heard of CDK? CDKs? Yes, I have heard of CDKs. Yeah. I have not used it, but I've heard it's very helpful. I've heard a lot of people actually enjoy using it. What do I think about serverless? I think you need to use the word right. I'm not saying you do, sorry. I don't mean that to you. I just think I mean to say that like a lot of people don't use the word properly, nor do they know like how to design actual serverless applications. In all seriousness, like most of the people who make like lambdas or whatever you want to call them are basically just shoving a of code into a function and saying, yeah, it's a lambda function. Yo, right, Joy-Con, thank you for the 19 months, dude. Thank you so much, buddy. As well as continually copying and pasting what I write down on screen. And so like, yeah, I think like to actually have a good lambda function, something that has the, right, like for starters, a function should really only do one thing. It should not be multi-function function. And so a lot of people do that, like right out the gate. They're just like, oh, let me shove it in a Lambda, or serverless. So I don't like that. I don't like that approach to it. But if you're talking about like actual good isolation, things like that, like actually trying to be like, we have something we hit all the time. It's this one thing. It's always, put that into a Lambda function and let it scale to like 1,000, 10,000. That's a good approach. You know what I mean? That's not a terrible thing. Thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. Thank you. Cleaning his desk was placed second. It doesn't look like Windows Professional. Oh, doesn't it? Oh, my bad. Here you go. Hold on. Boop. How's that? Is that better? Did I break the fourth wall for you? My chat. Is that? I'm sorry. Yeah. Welcome to Windows. I virtualized my dev environments. Yeah, I dev in VMs. Because I'm a gamer, chat. All right. I also happen to be a gamer. I like to play the FPSs in other games, so I didn't want to sacrifice being able to, do that. OpenShift versus Kates. I don't know, man. I mean, I think Kubernetes is just fine. I enjoy using it. I know that there's a lot of power behind OpenShift, but I think that's more if you're just like trying to lean on the cloud and like more and more of the integrations between Kubernetes and the cloud. I don't know. Yeah, I personally just like Kubernetes better personally, but I also need to try OpenShift more. I will say that. I need to try OpenShift more. Sorry, let me catch up a chat here. The real endgame is going higher. TRPC on Cloudflare workers. Why? What is the point of it? Like I see where you're going with it. Like, why not just throw a route in a serverless thing, call it a day, bam bam boom? But like, why? Is that the design? Like, is that the design to go completely, like that? Like, is that gonna be easy to develop? Is that gonna be scalable in the sense of like development? Did you see the JSX proposal for CDK? No, I didn't. I did not. Why not ECS? I love ECS. We use ECS at work. So yeah, I use ECS a lot. Is this Go? It is definitely Go. By the way, chat, I'm catching up, so give me a second. Check out Nest.js and serverless framework for small lambdas. Yeah, I mean, again, like if it's a small like lambda that's focused on solving a specific problem, then yeah. Yo, Ahmed, how's it going? Hello. What do you think of OpenShift compared to Kubernetes itself? Right, yeah. So again, as I said, I think OpenShift is something that is very powerful, but I do think that, let's see, OpenShift is, hold on. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. There's too many opens. There's OpenShift, there's OpenStack, OpenSearch. Yeah, it's Red Hat's thing. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's Red Hat, dude. Like, that's the first thing I can say. It's Red Hat. Like, you're either automatically wearing the hat or you're not. Like, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't wear that hat. I wear a gray hat, technically. So, I don't know. I'm from the olden days where, like, Red Hat had a fantastic business model, but unfortunately, as a young engineer, it sucked how limited everything was. Probably a good way of putting it. Yeah. So I don't actually have a ton of experience with Red Hat because when I was a kid, I just didn't have access to it as much. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say that negatively because I think what they did, there's actually, chat, listen, you guys are all nerds. If you've never seen RevOS, you're not a true nerd, go watch it. It is a documentary on our history, on our nerddom, right? It's a history on how we got here, right? And if you watch that, you actually can get a really good breakdown of like how open source happened, the free software movement, like how OpenStack or how Red Hat became like a company, how they created, how Red Hat like basically was like, hey, we're gonna like create a Linux distro, but we're gonna give it more value by also supporting that Linux distro. Like, think about that. Like, not many other people did that, or still do that. But that's like how Red Hat became a company. They were basically like, hey, not not only are we going to make the operating system, but we're going to support it, and we're going to license that to companies. And it's actually all in that documentary. Yeah, I just pinged it above. It's ! RevOS in chat. Which distro do I use? I use something called Nix. Yeah, I use something called Nix. If you're curious about it, I say check out my YouTube. There's a video. Again, we're new. I always say this to people. We're still new to the YouTubes. But there is a video out there right now on how you... where is it? How to set up Nix flakes. And this is all basically like how to develop with Nix. It gives you a good understanding of what Nix does, at least in the development flow. I work in DevOps professionally. I'm a senior software engineer. I started out in front end. You know, I'm sure some of you guys have heard this spiel before, so if I'm repeating myself, sorry. But for anyone new, I have a very wide experience of, you know, and so, yeah, I as of late have been in DevOps and very fascinated with DevOps for the past like 5 years. And automation, things like that are something very passionate to me. And so I recently really got into Nix, and we were actually talking about this on last stream, because I'm a big Docker fan. I actually really like Docker quite a bit. But the challenge is Docker and like Nix really cannot be compared, because they like, one is repeatable, and as I've said this before, one is reproducible. They solve very different problems, and so I've really fell in love with Nix quite a bit. They have an operating system. Well, okay, let me be clear. Somebody came in the other day and like, excuse me, sir. Let me be fair and tell you that it's not the Nix operating system, but in fact, it is the Linux one. Now, to be fair, they were also trolling it. They weren't being real. But yeah, it is the Linux kernel at the end of the day. And I have like i3 gaps and all that stuff. And, you know, I run like a normal desktop and whatnot. Would you stream working on ECS? Yes, I would. As a matter of fact, we recently got in contact with Amazon just because we're doing this migration right now. And they reached back out to us and they were like, "Oh, you stream? Love it." And I was like, "Oh, you guys know who we are?" So hopefully the reality of it is ECS is just expensive. It is. It's a bit more expensive because, you know, they manage the control plane as well. Or they can manage the resources as well. Do you prefer working with something like EKS, GK, or EC2 instances for deploying with K8s? So here's the thing, chat. I'm a little biased, all right? If you join our Discord, you're going to see that in our technology channel, where is it? Hold on, technology, there it is. There's a pinned thingy here. Boop, pinned message. We have our own on-prem servers. I've always been a server guy. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved running servers. It's been a fun experience for me. I've always liked using hardware. Phrasing. But yeah, no, so I'm gonna be fair. A lot of my like real in-depth experience on Kubernetes is actually like on-prem, right directly. Hey, Alon. Here, now I just have to say hi. Sup. So yeah, we have our own on-prem thing that I work with and I focus with, and then what I do is I'll take that and then we'll go to the cloud with it. You know what I mean? And here's the reason why I do that as well. 9 times out of 10, when I take that approach, it makes us truly cloud agnostic. Like for example, we were talking about serverless before, right? I run serverless in Quirk. So if you guys don't know what Quirk is the thing that Prime uses for his like Vim with me and all of that stuff, as well as like his like join his Discord human stuff. He uses a few of Quirk's features basically, and obviously we use it as well. And so a lot of Quirk is built on top of Kubernetes, and it was purposely built that way because I wanted to make it completely portable. I wanted to make it a scenario where if we needed to shift to the cloud, we could shift to the cloud very easily. As a matter of fact, we don't call production here. We call it on-prem or off-site, basically. And that's because at any moment, we can deploy a cluster to either on-prem or off-site, route DNS that way, and then we're back online. All right, you are just... thanks, man. I've been doing this for a minute, okay? This is kind of what I do. And I do like... I would say as an engineer, it's hard to be honest with yourself sometimes and be like, how much experience have I really gotten? I would say only in the past, like, year, maybe I'd say maybe like year and a half, I've been working at like a very large scale. And so it's been very interesting to be able to also like be like, oh man, I don't know as much as I thought I did. So yeah, it's been neat. Would you use Beanstalk? No. I'm not a big fan of Beanstalk. I have used Beanstalk. I've used Beanstalk for deployments, and yeah, I was not a big fan. I didn't like how it deployed stuff. I didn't like how you managed, like, it just, I think ECS was a much better solution to that. Yeah. Cloud hosted databases or manage it yourself. Just depends on your requirements, honestly. Like if you need a massive database that takes like tons of resources and all these other things, it might be better for you to run it on-prem. You know what I mean? Even if you just ran it in a colo by itself, you know, and then like VPN site to site that to the cloud, you could totally do something like that. And it could be, you know, it could definitely be a good solution. It just really depends on what you need, you know? We run databases in the cloud, but for example, at Hippo, what we do is we run in every non-prod environment, we run all of our databases in one instance. And then in prod, they all get their own individual instances. And that's kind of how we like save money as well as like save on resources and stuff like that. Because I would say dev is probably hit the most at our company because, you know, developers just constantly hammering on it and stuff like that. Yo, thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. Again, if you're new to the community, I just want to say this really quickly. Be sure to check out that little blurb right there. Be sure to check out the Discord as well as the YouTube. Sorry, I know, some people may be new here. So thank you for being here. Seriously, I appreciate it. And again, I specialize like in DevOps, to be fair. This is a lot of what I do. I think as we were going as content creators, we were kind of like, how can we make ourselves unique? Just like, you know, Prime has and a lot of our other friends. And this is something I'm really passionate about. So if this is something that interests you guys, our community is constantly about it. Like that's what our community is, you know, really focused around and stuff like that. So yeah. Which DB would you recommend for like millions of data and full text search? I would recommend really good engineers to be able to scale that database appropriately. That's what I would recommend. Training tool. I know that's probably not the answer you want to hear, but like most databases can actually be scaled pretty well. Postgres is one of them. Like you can actually scale Postgres very well if you know how to. You know what I mean? If you're wanting something that's more like out of the box, Elasticsearch, honestly, is not a bad one at all. Like using the actual Elasticsearch backend is not a bad one at all. Redis. I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend Redis. Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend Redis. But yeah, I mean, I think, in all seriousness, I think you can achieve chat pretty decently. I'm sorry, chat. I think you can achieve text search pretty decently in most databases. If you want to scale it to like millions of data, then you just got to know how to scale that database particularly. Why not what? Why not Redis? Because you're going to have like a ridiculous amount of data in memory. Like they said millions of records, you know what I mean? Like millions of data in full text search. I don't know if I'd want 2 gigs of my search query data. And like you might need it, you know what I mean? You might need it, but it's more about like how much data are you trying to store in memory at that point, you know? Oh, am I about to get rated? Dope. I just got rated once. What do you use for creating your kube manifest? Been using Helm for a while, but seems clunky. So I'm not a big fan of Helm, except for when something else is managing it. I don't know if you guys know this, but like Kubernetes, or I'm sorry, not Kubernetes. What's it called? Pulumi or Terraform, for example, can handle Helm deployments, right? Like they can actually, you know, take Helm charts and stuff like that and then deploy them for you. This is how I like deploying Helm charts, mostly because I don't like having to like fool around with the CLI and be like, what do I have deployed? You know, I like the fact that it's also like maintained with state, you know what I mean? And because I'm using a higher level automation tool like Terraform, if I'm like, you know what, I want to deploy this with Helm, and then I'm like, you know what, actually, I kind of want to just deploy this one with regular Kubernetes manifests, then I can use the Kubernetes provider right next to the Helm provider. And I do that quite often. I do that in Pulumi though. And here's actually, let's see here. Where's a good example of that? So if we go to repository, here, and let's go to on-prem Pulumi Kubernetes. And then let's go to like Discourse. Yeah, Discourse is probably a good one. So look at this. So this is in JavaScript. I write automation in a bunch of different languages, so we kind of bounce around from time to time. But this is, sorry, not JavaScript. This is TypeScript. But this is a Discourse component that I've created that essentially will give me a Discourse deployment when I'm done with it. And if you notice, like, I have a namespace that's just normal, automation, right? Persistent volume, that's normal automation, right? And then we get to here, and then I'm like, well, you know what? I don't feel like maintaining the actual infrastructure for Discourse, so that's going to be a chart. You know what I mean? And so this is where we say, like, okay, cool. Now we're going to, I lean on that when I can. So most of the time, I lean on charts and things like that when, like, I need, high availability. Again, like Postgres, QL, Bitnami, Kubernetes, right? Like this can give you like out of the box a highly available Kubernetes cluster, which is like dope, perfect, right? So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of when I use it. Otherwise, I'm using at this point, I'm pretty much either using Pulumi or Terraform for most things, unless I'm configuring VMs themselves directly. Then yes, I prefer Ansible in that regard. I love Ansible. Ansible is a great product. I actually, if you guys don't know, I do have a YouTube video on how you can literally configure your whole dev environment with Ansible with like one key. It was a challenge that I gave myself because I know a lot of people have like done that as well. I know that Prime even has some of his stuff done in Ansible, but like I wanted to try and almost build like a framework for people where you could look at my dot files and use them if you wanted to, but you could also create a framework where like if you ever needed to install something else, you know exactly how to do it, or how to automate it and stuff like that. And so like I love Ansible for things like that. Like Ansible is great for imperative steps essentially. Do I like TypeScript? Yeah, I do like TypeScript. Yeah. How do you move like that around the directories from the terminal? I have something called, well, there's a couple things. So in my terminal, I use a tool called Z. This is probably something I use a lot. And this is because I use ZSH. So ZSH Z. This is basically a indexer of every directory you go to. Neovim. There you go. Since I use Z and it indexes every directory you go to, I can do things like Z network, and it'll know like, okay, well, you went to Pulumi network last, right? Or if I go to like Z alt, it'll know, okay, well, you were in the alt F4 directory last time working in this repository. Is this where you want to go? And then if I do it like again, no, it's going to keep me there because I'm still there, yeah. But yeah, that's basically how you can do it. And so like if I was like dot files, bam, now I'm in a completely different directory. So like that's one way I move around really quickly. I also use a tool called NNN. And I talk about that, I think, in my dot files as well. But NNN is basically a tool that allows you to kind of use like a more like interactive LL, I guess, like, or LSALH, where I can actually like navigate and like arrow through the directories, and I can even like copy files and stuff like that. So yeah. Use numbers for your folder names. Yeah, I've seen that you could do that. As a matter of fact, like you can do that with like this as well, like CD. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that, but you can actually go back to directories using CD. CD does keep I don't know how many directories history it does, but like, for example, if I was like, all right, I want to go here and then I want to go back 2 directories, then I'm here as well. So it kind of does that same thing too. Is Z built into ZSH? No, it's not. You got to download it. There's a plugin. Love it for ZSH. Oh, nice. I will check this out. I love that kind of stuff. Didn't know you could do that with CD. Yeah, I do that all the time actually. So if you do like CD dash, it takes you back to the last directory you were in. Yeah. No, I meant the folder names. Oh, dude, I don't know if I could do that. That's honestly, that's some like Giga Chad level shit. that like I don't know if my brain could process that. I'd probably be like, oh crap, what directory was it again? 75 or 43? That'd be a little hard for me. That'd be a little. You think in actual variables, and I salute that, but I don't know if I can do that. CD's nuts though. What's up, Glam? How's it going, buddy? Love that that's your first message of the stream. How's it going, dude? FCF Marks. Ooh. Nice. I will check. Yeah, if you guys have stuff you want to share, feel free. I'm always down to, check stuff out. Can I go from noob to Vim God in 3 weeks? Yes, you can. You just have to know how to get good. If you know how to get good, you'll be fine. If you don't know how to get good, then I don't know, bro. That's all on you. No, probably not. In all seriousness, no. More than likely not. You can't. It would be very difficult for you to do that. I took at least a few months before I was like feeling comfortable and not frustrated every time I opened Vim. It takes time. It takes customization, things like that. What do I use for a reverse proxy? Depends on what I need. Just depends on what I need. Like, if you're asking if I like Nginx, then yes, I do. I think Nginx is a great reverse proxy, but it doesn't mean I always use it. All right, Chad. As I said, I do want to get a little bit of work done today. So as much as I love you guys, we're going to keep chatting. We're going to keep hanging, but I am going to try and clean up some of this automation here. Have you ever heard of volume sync? It's a Kubernetes operator which allows you to easily replicate PVC data with different methods depending on your needs. I have not. The only thing I would say that I know that's closest to this is something called Valero. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this before, but basically this is it's more for backups and restoration. But it's basically used to like take PVC data, replicate it. It can replicate it to clouds. It can replicate it to on-site like data sources and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. Yeah, here, I'll copy and paste this to you guys. What do I think of oh wait, so hold on. Ever tried Argo CD? Yep, I have. As a matter of fact, we have an example Argo repository from like a year ago. Oh, there you go, 11 months ago. So this is essentially an example deployment that I did where like I, use customization to kind of separate all of my resources and stuff, and then actually deploy Argo CD itself. And I think you can even use this. I think you can, I think this is even something you could use to deploy to Argo CD if you wanted to. I like GitOps. Like that's the TLDR on that, is that it's just GitOps, right? Like that's what they tout, is that it's, high powered GitOps or whatever. I think it is cool. I just don't know how practical it is yet. There's a lot of things that Argo CD, I think, has new opinionations around and new just ways of doing things that I would say are disruptive, not in a bad way, but they are disruptive nonetheless. And so like we wanted to try and evaluate Argo at work, but it really would have gone against some of like how we currently do things. So we kind of had to be like, okay, let's try and reevaluate this so that if we're going to use it, it's not like a anti-pattern essentially. Yo, what's up, Lon? How's it going? What are you doing? What is happening? Right now, I'm completely distracted by chat while I'm trying to work on my Pulumi Kubernetes automation for AWS. So that's what's happening right now. But it's okay because I also love talking to you guys. So I'm not complaining. I need to evaluate Argo more, to be honest with you. Yeah, I need to evaluate Argo more, the high more. For now, and honestly, the high more, just to give you a little bit more of an example, you said, or do you prefer to run something like Terraform and cron, keeping state consistent and all that kind of stuff? That's what it's not that we preferred that, it's that once we started evaluating Argo CD, it was that realization of like, oh, we can't do it this way anymore. You know what I mean? We got to do it a different way. And I think that was the challenging part. Yeah. What do I think of Traffic? Traffic's good. I think Traffic's good. I've used Traffic before. I think Unfortunately, I think it's a little confusing now. I wish it wasn't as much. Before it was a little bit easier to manage. I understand why they made the changes they did, where they like moved all the configuration to annotations and things like that. Basically, it just sucks to configure now as much because everything's just so distributed. They really like abstracted everything away. So my flip-flop fell off. So I don't know. I don't use it as much anymore because of that. But I did use it for quite some time, and it worked well. It worked well. Yeah. I believe some people from Valero have worked on volume sync. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, that would definitely make sense. That's shared tech or similar tech, you know. Aussie boy, what's up? How's it going? Saved my life a few times. Ooh, nice. Dura. I feel like somebody shared Dura before, but maybe I'm wrong on that one. What is the number at the left bottom? 1, 2, 3. Those are my workspaces or my windows, basically. So I can have up to 10, right? And they all translate to number keys on my keyboard, right? So I'm moving around these workspaces right now. I3 gaps, yep. What should I learn first, Cypress IO or Jenkins? In all honesty, you should probably learn both as much as I was Jenkins. Jenkins would just like burn in a fiery. I hate Jenkins. I'm sorry. I have a bad experience with Jenkins. So I mean, you should probably learn both though. A lot of people still use Jenkins, unfortunately, and I don't like. In all seriousness, like Cypress. I wouldn't even say like put all your money on Cypress either. Like we run it at Hippo and. It's not my favorite tool to put in the cloud, all right? Let me put it that way. Or in a CI pipeline. Let's put it that way. What you got against Jenkins? It sucks. That's all. And that's it. It sucks. Yeah. You can run Kubernetes. You can run Jenkins on Kubernetes, but I've never tried. Yeah, you can do a lot of stupid things, but it doesn't mean you should. Groovy is the devil's language. Groovy? Oh, yeah. Homie, put all your money on Cypress. It rocks. That's my thoughts. I don't think that it doesn't rock. I just wish they didn't go like, hey, if you want parallelization, we're charging yo ass. Like, come on, man. I don't know if you're, and I know that there's free options out there, like open source, like freeway chat. Listen, this is my world. Okay? Don't come in here, unless you've been doing it for longer than me, then you probably know more than I do. But don't come in here and try and just act like I don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of I wasn't a big fan of that, the parallelization, because we had to do that. We had Cypress tests that we were like, they're running too long. We have to split them. And once you go to splitting with Cypress is like, hey, pay us. And it's like, you can give me more than that. I may have to set up that soon. What? I kind of like Jenkins. The only other automation tool I've used is Bamboo, and they were similar. There's a lot out there. Somebody mentioned Tekton. I think Tekton is great, but also like you have to know how to use it. Otherwise, you're going to be completely confused and just be like, oh, I don't know. But I think like Tekton is a good option. I actually was interviewed yesterday by Circle CI for stuff at work. And like, I think they're a great platform as well. And I was talking about that yesterday too, that like, they're great for CI and CD. I'm not a big fan of Docker. I'm not a big fan of GitLab as much as I used to be. I used to run GitLab a lot. And I liked how everything was like all in one place, like, oh yeah, I got everything I want right here. But then like when you have all of those things in one box and you go like, oh, you kind of start going like, oh God, this box is too big. I don't want this anymore. And that's kind of like how I felt after managing GitLab for 4 years. It was just like, kind of done managing it. Circle CI, I think, provides a great solution where you can, you can run your self-hosted runners, and other providers do that too. Yo, Kosi, thank you for the 3 months, by the way. I'm so sorry. I just caught that. Dude, thank you so much, Kosi QQ, for the 3 months. Seriously, thank you. I hope you're doing well. Have I checked Surreal out? Surreal DB, right? Is that what that is? I keep hearing about that. Is that like something I need to actually be looking at? Like, I don't know. No, I have not checked out Surreal that much. What are your thoughts on CNCF, the Cloud Foundation? I think it's great. Yeah, I like CNCF. If that's what you're talking about. Is that Y top? No, it's bottom. BTM. It really is Surreal. It really is. All right, fair enough. Look, I have it on the list, chat. And I talk about this quite often. Yeah, here you go. Look. I'm not lying to you. Look at this. Look at this. So we got TinyGrad, Stable Diffusion, Medusa, which were all recommendations by Acorn. If you don't know them, go check them out. Doxosaurus, Catpusin. Oh, I don't need that anymore. 1,000 instances of Nix packages is something I need to read. And then bam, look at that right there. I told you I wasn't lying to you. Surreal DB. Oh, and for everyone who's like screenshotting all of my bookmarks and stuff, enjoy. Let's watch this together. I'm not gonna watch a YouTube video right now. I'll check it out later, but I'm not gonna watch something right now. I will open it though and probably get pranked. Oh, here we go. 100 seconds. Okay, maybe we'll look at this in a minute. I didn't realize it was literally just like 100 seconds, so we might look at that in a second. I am interested. Circle C is awesome. Oh wait, noise. I was just setting Tecton for the past few days to upgrade my pipeline, and now I have my answer. Yeah, no, Tecton's great. I don't think Tecton's bad at all. I just think you really need to know how to use it. You know what I mean? Anyone seen the new Fetch It project on GitHub Containers Organization? It allows GitOps management of the containers in the non-. Oh, I haven't seen that. No. What is this? Purpose of Fetch It is to allow GitOps management of pod managed containers. Fetch It requires the Podman socket. Oh, well, it's using Podman. Okay, so it's just running like actual OCI containers at that point. Manually launch the Fetch It container using Podman. Podman volume is the preferred storage. Okay. Verify the sample application is running. But wait, what does this do? Sorry, I don't even know what this does. Is to allow for GitOps management of GitOps management of Podman managed containers. GitOps. Oh man, there's a lot of like manage in this word, like manage. So I'm trying. Like I'm gonna get there. But I'm also like slightly confused still. What? Okay, so it's allow for GitOps management. Okay, so GitOps management of. Oh, okay, I see now. So. Okay, so basically it's a way of running tasks and shit. That's it. Is that am I getting that? Is that basically what like this? But in a GitOps approach. Yeah, the 100 seconds of Fireship basically tells you all you need to know. Am I interested or not? The same for me. Is it? Okay. Should we look at it? All right. You know what? I've been getting this a lot. Let's watch it. I'm down. I swear to God, if Rickroll plays, I'm banning you so hard. Hold on. Let me take my headphones out. Put in my other headphones. Dude, I swear to you, the moment Rickroll starts playing, I'm banning you.
Oral, schemaless, schemaful, serverless, embedded are all words that can describe SurrealDB, a multi-model database that combines elements of relational graph.
Okay, can I just say about this video, I already feel like a Giga Chad. Just by, I mean, look at this picture. This man is, or this person is like, their head's open, they're some like existential connection to the universe that is just like opening up their mind
and document paradigms into a simple package.
Bit dramatic.
Queried with an SQL-like language. Development was started by Jamie and Toby Morgan Hitchcock in 2015, and it was open sourced in July 2022. The engine is written in Rust and can support multiple persistence layers.
I like how they like hid that in there. Yeah, it was written in Rust. No, I'm just kidding. That's dope.
Like TiKV to scale horizontally in the cloud, or as a single node, both in memory or on disk. Most importantly,
oh damn, hold on, that's actually crazy. Wait,
in
what
memory
now?
Or on disk.
Wait,
to scale
what?
horizontally in the cloud, or as a single node, both in memory or on disk.
Holy, that's pretty crazy. So you can replicate. That's pretty cool.
Most importantly, though,
right,
it can handle
that's pretty cool.
relationships like traditional relational databases, but does so without joins. Instead, it uses techniques like record length without joins. Instead,
dog, you're talking too fast. Come on, I'm an old man. Speak slower.
both in memory or on disk. Most importantly though, it can handle complex relationships like traditional relational databases, but does so without joins. Instead, it uses techniques like record links and graph connections that not only handle complex data models, but also result in concise, developer-friendly code. By default, it's schema-less friendly
Hey,
code.
yo, if anyone watches Rick and Morty, I love that little reference they've got there. Product, Plumbus.
And concise, developer-friendly code.
That alone kind of like pulls me in. All right, I can appreciate.
default-
I like it when marketing has like fun stuff like that. The Spot UI is beautiful. Oh yeah, the Spotify UI
It's
is very
schemaless,
nice.
which means you can implicitly create unstructured data in any table. However, you can opt into schemaful tables when the data model becomes well-defined. It's also ACID compliant, allowing you to run transactions across multiple tables, which also emit events when the data changes, so you can listen to real-time updates from a front-end application, kind of like Firebase. And the feature list goes on with things like geospatial data and predefined analytics views, all of which can be locked down with permissions out of the box. To get started, install it on your machine, then run it locally with the CLI, then execute code using
The ASCII.
its REST
I love
API or a client library for your favorite language. Just like
Not
SQL,
marketing, it's
we
just the
can
humor
use
of the channel. Oh,
statements
okay,
like
fair enough, fair
create
enough.
to
Yeah,
add
I
a record
don't
to
know.
the database.
Oh,
Every
that's right.
record-
Fireship is my bad. I was confusing Fireship, the channel, with the host. Or not the host, but there's like isn't there a host of like Fire something? I don't
Has
know.
a unique ID.
Yeah, I
comprised
got you,
of
I got you,
two
I got you.
parts.
Yep,
The
sorry,
left
I
side
was
is the table the record
confusing the
belongs
two
to,
for a second
and the
there.
right side can be whatever
SQL
you want,
master race
or if
planet
left
scale.
out, it will be automatically generated. And now use set
Firebase
to define
quite
the
a bit?
data
Oh,
for
interesting.
that record, or try content for a more JSON-like syntax. Now that we have some data populated, we can query it with a select statement. It supports the where clause to filter by a condition and has a variety of built-in functions like count to fetch aggregate data or is to validate common data formats like an email. And if that's not enough, you can even embed your own JavaScript
Yeah,
logic
be honest,
directly
Conrad,
into
okay?
a query. But remember,
both know
there
that's
are no
false.
joins in the surreal life. Instead of foreign keys, record IDs can be stored
We're all
in
programmers,
any other
okay?
record. That makes it possible to query that data using a simple select statement that uses dot notation to specify the fields that should be joined in. That takes care of most
That's
relationships.
crazy.
but
You can
even
interop
add
these
graph edges
things.
between records using the relate statement. You can now query this data efficiently
Thank you for the
using
follow, by the
arrows
way.
to traverse between nodes and edges. This has been SurrealDB in 100 seconds. If you want to go beyond 100 seconds,
know
check
it's-
out my new channel Beyond Fireship, where I'll be taking you
Okay,
on.
yeah, I know your ad.
If that's not
Interesting. That was an ad. Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That was a good video, by the way. I like their videos. They make good videos. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll have to jump into it. Maybe we will, chat. Maybe we will. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, I just gotta like. There we go. Okay. But Nick's packages has it. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let me put fetch it back over here because I need this. Databases are overrated. Just pick one and stick on it. Yeah, I mean, if you've been in the game long enough, that's a totally valid argument. I agree. I don't know. I am always interested in like new tech and stuff like that. But as I said before earlier, when somebody was like, "What database should I use for blah blah blah?" I was like, same thing, right? If you could scale it, then you're good, pretty much. Like whatever works best for your organization is normally the best solution. Yeah. What's up, DS Legends? How's it going? Hello. But Nick's packages have it. Oh yeah, let me look really quickly. Surreal. Nope. Looks like you got at it. If you have been in the game long enough, you always know you end up using Postgres. That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair argument as well. All right, so chat, check it out. I'm a MySQL guy. I mean, listen, for the ones who know SQL really well, yeah, props to you, man. You stuck to a system that has been around for a long time and has built a lot of what we have today. And yeah, I stepped out of it once we started introducing things like MariaDB. I was like, no, I think I'm gonna go try this Postgres thing and see how that goes. But yeah, MySQL is a bit different in how you manage it than Postgres, in my opinion. But they're very similar in a lot of ways. Okay. All right, so chat, check it out. This is what I want to show you guys really quickly. I'm deploying a Kubernetes cluster to Amazon. And so I can actually show you what that cluster looks like. we go to the Alta for charts, I like charts. We like to do charts here. Charts is something we enjoy doing. And so if we go here, nope, here, yep. This is our Kubernetes cluster that we have deployed to Amazon. And I've already gone through a lot of this in the previous stream. So if you are curious, as a matter of fact, thank you, MPS. Be sure to check out the YouTube. The second link there, the Alta for Archives, is where we post all of our VODs and stuff. So if you ever miss anything, go back and check that out. But the TLDR is we've already deployed most of this. We've got our default VPC. We've got our subnet set up. We've got our NAT gateway. Like we've got all this in set up. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through each one of these automation libraries and repositories, and I'm simply making them, just cleaning them up, making sure that they're running properly, making sure the pipelines, like I didn't necessarily break anything by accident or anything like that. And then we're going to move forward with actually starting to deploy stuff to Kubernetes in Amazon. And I've already deployed a couple things. But I have already ran into a specific problem that I want to kind of try and figure out. I think I know the solution to it. I think it's just a very simple one, like security rules and stuff like that. But yeah. After years of relational SQL like Oracle and MySQL, I fell in love with MongoDB and simultaneously hated to decide when a record shouldn't be nested. Yeah, that's fair. Documents can be challenging. I'll keep your channel under my pillow for more DevOps VODs. Oh, well, thank you, man. Yeah, absolutely. We post new VODs every day, so you should be able to see them new every day. Or a new one every day, at least. Running worker nodes with EC2 or Fargate. EC2. Yeah, EC2. This is a very, 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 very cost-effective cluster as well. We're looking to only spend around, like, $250 a month maximum on all these resources. So, Fargate's just too expensive. At least for what we would need, you know? Sorry, I had to log into AWS. For Ultra Teep, GKE is a good call. I'm going to be fair. I've not evaluated that yet. I've evaluated Amazon and Azure. And I would definitely think so far that Azure or Amazon is the most expensive, at least of the two. And I don't want to say it's like tons more expensive, but it's a bit more expensive. Azure, however, has the easiest deployment I've used as of yet. Now, again, I've managed Kubernetes on GKE, but I'm sorry, guys. Listen. I understand Google. Yes, fantastic, whatever. I hate Material UI with a passion. So it's really hard to sell GKE with me. I hate Material UI. I hate the sliding drawer nonsense and and the drawers that slide over the drawers and the drawers of the drawers of the drawers of the drawers of the drawers, dude. And I'm just like, oh my God. So unfortunately, I'm not even kidding. GKE was slightly ruined for me because of Material UI. But I'm willing to evaluate it again. So yeah. Terraform. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we would automate it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Free control plane and preemptive instances. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, okay. That is difficult to beat, for sure. That is definitely difficult to beat. Not a fan of open side panel over side panel over side panel. I mean, that's what they do. They have like panels that open flipping panels, and it's, I don't know. All right, so we're going to clean up this automation really quickly. This automation in particular is the Kubernetes automation itself. So let's do this. Let's go main. Now, again, one of the reasons why I write the code or the automation the way I do, and I talk about this a lot, is because we're trying to solve specific problems. If you go to our repositories and you just type in like Pulumi in the search, you're going to see that we have like a bunch of different Pulumi repositories. We have VPN, network, Pulumi service, Pulumi bucket, Pulumi GitHub, right? all of these solve different Pulumi machine user, Pulumi container registry. All of these solve different problems, but they're all focused on being able to work with multiple clouds at the same time, right? So when we talk about creating a Pulumi network or a network in our infrastructure, we're not just creating a network in Amazon per se. We're also doing it in Azure. And I'm going to be real. At some point, we'll have a GKE here as well. You know. Because again, I am interested in doing, and we're probably going to evaluate GKE next. So again, if you guys are curious, on that or when that's going to happen, be sure to join the Discord. Be sure to check, the go lives and stuff because that's when you'll know. But yeah, in the Pulumi network example, we have provider Azure, provider AWS, and so what we're doing is we're saying I want to create networks anywhere. Right. And I want this repository to do that. And we're doing the exact same thing with Kubernetes, where we're saying I want to be able to create Kubernetes clusters. Right. We can create our networks anywhere. We can create our VPNs anywhere. Well, now we want to be able to create Kubernetes clusters anywhere. And if you go back to what I talked to you about earlier, where I was like, we use Kubernetes to make sure that we are cloud agnostic. Right. This is one of the things that empowers that, is because we can throw a Kubernetes cluster up almost anywhere very, very quickly. And that was a goal of this, you know what I mean? So in this case, and this is another question I get all the time, dude, all the time. Pulumi versus Terraform. Pulumi versus Terraform. Dog, listen, okay? There are reasons for everything and why you use them. I love Terraform and I love Pulumi. However, Terraform is written mostly in a configuration-based language, HCL. So at its core, it is declarative, right? It is something that you declare configurations with. You might copy and paste them. You might create modules for them. Like, listen, I've explored all of the ways that you can optimize Terraform and how you can modularize it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're pretty much creating repositories of code that have all of your automation inside of them. And it's very simple. It's very easy to use. It's something that you can do very quickly. And I think if those are the goals that you have, being able to automate fast, be able to get things started, created quickly, things like that, I think Terraform's great. I don't think it's bad at all. You know what I mean? But what you see in front of you is not necessarily, you can do this in Terraform, but you cannot do it to the same breadth of level that you can do it in just a native programming language with Pulumi. My goal, right, is I just told you, I want to create a Kubernetes cluster anywhere, right? I want to be able to create a Kubernetes cluster in AWS or Azure. And if you think about that, those are very, very different ways of creating Kubernetes clusters, right? Very different. But my goal is to be able to just be hey, I want to be able to create Kubernetes clusters, even with similar configuration options and things like that, where I could just say hey, I want to pass a config object of my own, right? And then I'm going to pass that to a function that then dynamically does everything for me. And you can do that with Terraform. Yes, you can. Okay. I get it. Stop telling me that. I know you can do that, but you could do a bunch of things with really unoptimized ways of doing them. And I just don't think when you start doing this, when you start saying okay, I want to, in my organization, have things that developers can easily pick up and just plug and play together, right? Even if the developers are DevOps engineers, it's not the same, I think, as much as having a library that's tested and has good structure around it. And that's what Pulumi can offer. Again, do I think that one necessarily is better or worse than the other? No, because like I said, they solve different problems. And you could technically, I guess, even work with them together, where you could say maybe, your configuration that developers touch is in Terraform, right? But then all of your larger infrastructures in Pulumi, right? For more of that composability, right? There's so many ways of using it and so many different reasons. But again, in this case for us, we're trying to be I just want to be able to say, hey, give me a Kubernetes cluster on Amazon. Here's a couple parameters, done. Right? Same thing for Azure and anything else. Pulumi can run Crisis, I've heard. Yeah, and it can run Crisis. Yeah, that too. Can Pulumi run on any machine, or does it have to run in there? No, it can run on any machine. As a matter of fact, they don't have a cloud thing. Pulumi doesn't have a cloud option. They actually don't have one. Yeah. Which is a bit of a bummer because I wish they did have cloud runners, but I also understand why they don't, so that's fine. Have you tried using Hypershift or KCP? I believe both projects aim to provide hybrid cloud environment regardless of what. No, I haven't, Oreo. I haven't. I'd have to check that out. Ooh, thank you for sharing these links with me, by the way, chat. Like I said, I'm always like most of the stuff that we're talking about, I'm eventually going to create videos on. There's just so much, man. There's so much in this realm and in this world. I'm curious, why are you using Firefox? I haven't really tried it in quite a while. Okay, 2 reasons. 1, because Chrome is literally, created in I don't know why I bleeped hell, but yeah, it's created in hell. It feels like that when you run it on your computer. But no, I actually really like the Mozilla Foundation. I really like, I've been I used Firefox when I was a kid. And it was kind of almost like a, like coming home, a homecoming, I guess, where it was like, oh, I kind of want to try out Firefox. I haven't used that in years. I wonder what that's like. And it's actually been a super great experience. I really enjoy it. And yes, Satan himself created Chrome. So, but yeah, no, I just like it. And honestly, I like what they've been doing with it. They've got really good security, like focused design. And like, I actually feel, and maybe this is totally fake, but because I know Mozilla, I can like see what they're doing. I feel like I can trust them more. Yeah. But again, that could also be 100% bullshit. Google Chromium Bible. What? Okay. All right, so let's see here. Kubernetes ops. I think this is fine. Kubernetes name. Kubernetes ops. This is good. Okay, so we said that we were going to rename everything from ops to args. So let's do that as well. Right? And then, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I'm back. I also transitioned away from Chrome and have not went back except for sites break every few months. Yeah. Thanks. I was curious since I noticed the private gym was also using it. From little research I did, Chrome seemed to be faster browser in most cases. Thanks a lot for the answer. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see that. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm in a VM. Yeah. Although to be fair, this VM does have almost all of the cores of the computer. Look, check it out. 16 processors and 8 gigs of RAM. Oh, chat. One day I'll teach you how virtualization works and you'll understand why it's fine. Okay. Subnet args. Subnet filter. One day, chat. One day. Not today, though. Not today. Today it's not that day. But yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. But not about subnetting. Yeah, no, we're not going into subnetting again. We're done with that. I use KVM for stuff and it's amazing. I really, really do think that the best way for you to do development is to do it in VMs. I really do. Even if it's at work. Like, I think that I like the fact that everything's isolated. It's separated. I can just shut it down. I don't have to be worried about, like, it affecting things. Like, it's just, I don't know. I like that quite a bit. So, holy crap. Yeah, there's so much here, dude. All right, we're going to have to refactor quite a bit of this, I think. So we've got git subnets, cluster role policy, cluster role args, cluster role. So I think what we could do, if anything, is we could say, internal provider AWS new cluster role.go. Farts. I didn't mean to create a directory. New file cluster role.go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the subnets, cluster role policy, and then we're going to go cluster role package provider AWS function new cluster role, right? Because we're going to break this down like that. Do this, move that there, put that there, do that, flip that. Import JSON. Yep. Nil. Okay, so we want to return a cluster role. Why are you saying invalid type? Oh, because I don't have you imported. Pulumi AWS, Pulumi AWS native. Here's a question, chat. We need to figure out which module we're using. We're using AWS. Okay, so we're using the old module. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go like this. Import the old module. Go here. Import that. Okay, so we should context ops. Okay, so let's say context pulumi.context. Any rules of thumb for allocating resources when making a new dev VM? Poseidon, you are asking the right questions. I am so proud of you. You asked, okay, so P. Copley, by the way, thank you for the 11 months, my friend. You are wonderful. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you. Seriously, just thank you. And I hope you're well, P. Copley. So Poseidon, you're asking the right questions, my friend. And because you asked the right question, I will now explain to you how I do what I do with my VM. Okay, so the TLDR is a lot of people don't have a good perspective on virtualization today. They did have a decent virtualization perspective like maybe 10 years ago, but they don't today. So I'm going to realign that perspective for you so you have a better understanding of it, okay? The first one is we do live in a time where our processors are pretty much all powerful enough to run VMs, okay? So that's the first thing to say. Most CPUs out there today on modern desktops and modern laptops can virtualize in some way, shape, or form, right? Second thing that is a common misconception is they do not just take all of the resources on your computer like they used to, or that they may not have been performant as they used to. You can have virtualization essentially allocate as needed for everything, for disk space, for RAM, for CPU. And the way CPU works essentially is the more you give it, the more of the host it's going to use. But if it's not using all of that host's resources, it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine. And so that's how I'm running a 16-core VM on my 16-core i9900K CPU. Because what I'm telling my VM is, hey, yeah, sure, you can have up to 100%, but I'm going to make sure anything outside of that VM doesn't impact that. Right? I'm in my VM, I'm doing dev work in the VM. I'm focusing the resources on my computer where they should be. Right? So for example, for a minute, if we do this, I could, shoot all of my cores all the way up for a minute if I wanted to, and it would affect the whole CPU and machine. But as long as I don't open up a game and start gaming, you know what I mean? Or something else, it's fine. It'll run just as if it was running normal Linux on my computer. And so this is one of my secrets or whatever, I guess, as to how I do development on my computer, and why I say I think doing development in VMs is so powerful is because it really is. You can you don't have to boot camp. That's the one of the nicest things about it is you don't have to boot camp if you don't want to. Yo, what's up, Stu Kid? I'm on my Mac Pro at work. Absolutely hate it every time I have to open up Parallels and did work on .NET stuff because that's not a huge fan of working on a VM, but mostly because it's Windows. So Berg, I would say, unfortunately, MacBooks do not have a super great experience. I don't like Parallels on Mac personally. It's one of the things I step away from. I also use VMware across the board. So to be completely clear, and I actually posted a Twitter on this recently, I think somewhere, but I have, we have our on-prem servers, right? Well, that's powered by vCenter, right? So we have an on-prem cloud essentially, and this is the first reason why I use VMware VMware products, is because our cloud, which has 141 gigahertz of CPU, 383 gigabytes of memory, and 14 terabytes of disk space, it's good for us to be able to lean on that tech. And so, like, for example, if I wanted to, I could go view, where is it? Oh, home tab, right? Click on this, hit connect, and now I can actually connect the servers in the garage if I wanted to. So for example, if it's like, I want to connect to Circle CI 01. I can just double click on that. Oh, it's loading. There we go. And now I'm connected to a server in the data center in our garage, right? On top of that, I really think that VMware has a really great hypervisor. It's very performant. I've always seen like good performance with it. And so when we go to the laptops and desktops, you have like VMware Workstation, which is what I'm using right now, or you have VMware Fusion or VMware, whatever the free one is. And I think VMware does make a very good product. I think that they have, I think they do have like probably the best virtualization. I know it's not free. I know. I didn't talk about price once for that reason. But I do think that they have everything that, like, if you're a developer, you want to be able to do things like snapshots. You want to be able to do things like, networking. You want to be able to have multiple VMs, manage them, all that kind of stuff. I think VMware is a really good product. If you're comparing it to another paid product, especially like Parallels, which is really what I was originally doing there. There's anything to back up VMs for free in VMware. Well, that's the thing. So if you're talking about just backing them up normally, you would just back up the virtual disk, right? It's just a file. So you would just back up that virtual disk. Okay, so we're going to say type new cluster role args. Cannot spell right now. Type, oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. Struct. Okay, and then we want to say name string, because it needs to at least have a name. Args new cluster role args ops args, and then we need the parent as well. Parent Pulumi dot parent. Okay, parent. Come on, parent. No, Pulumi dot resource. Jeez Louise. Okay, so what this will do is this will create our cluster role. We need to return a IAM role or an error, right? Ops parent args parent. Okay, cool. All right, dope. So now what we can do is we can just say cluster role error new cluster role, right? We got to pass in the context, and then we also need to pass in our cluster role args. Oh my gosh. There we go. New cluster role args. And then we're going to say name ops.name. Ops should be args. There we go. And then parent needs to be args.parent. There we go. It's a good product. It has quirks, but it's very solid from what it offers. You can also import, export using OVF tool. Yep. You could totally do that as well. Yeah. I'm gonna light another flame before it burns out. Copilot or tab 9? Dog, you can write it. You can light as many flames as you want. We're just hanging out and chatting. Tab 9. Yeah, tab 9, mostly because I don't, again, feel like selling my soul to the devil and giving them all of my code, which is not what I do with tab 9. Yeah, no, we have like a tab 9 code, dude. Like we fully shill tab 9. Is that? I do use Tab 9 Pro. Yeah, Tab 9. What? I don't know what's going on with the bot. Give it a second. It'll probably kick in. Or do we not have one for Tab 9? There it is. There it is. Yeah, okay. It was just the bot taking a second. But yeah, no, like I love Tab. Like literally, chat, if you want something that can definitely help the game a little bit, that writing game, Tab 9 is definitely one of them. Yeah. Copilot is just a marketing ploy, in my personal opinion. I don't really... Like, I think it can be helpful to people who are, like, just starting. It's like an educational tool. That, I think, is a very valuable use for it. I don't know how much else. I like writing my own code, you know? I would rather have something that contextually, like, helps me write my code rather than something that kind of, like, opinionated? I don't know, whatever. You get my point. And more times than not when I was writing, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but more times than not when I was writing... code with with Copilot, I felt like I was fighting it. Like I was like, no, I want you to do this, not that. No, this. Like I don't know. It kind of felt like I was constantly fighting it, and I don't like that. Tab 9 has never felt like I, was fighting it. Like I can bridge my connections on the VM with the Windows network. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I do already. Like my VM is bridged onto the actual host network, so it looks like a normal computer and can be connected to and all that kind of stuff. Let me do something really quickly. Let's build this really fast. I bought it yesterday. Dang it, if I found you out yesterday, I would have used yours. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a 50% off code. Yeah. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, the 50% off code's pretty nice. Famous last words. Let's build it really fast. That's true. Yeah, that's fair. So if we go to cluster again, new cluster, we kind of need to figure out how we want to separate this. Like we're getting our subnets right here, which is, that's fine, I guess. Where is subnets being used though, is my question. It's using with the cluster arg. So I'm like, so chat, right now I'm just trying to look at the logic itself and be like, okay, do I have things that are like really far away from each other? How can we kind of like isolate this automation a bit better? Things like that. And so like right now, right, the first thing we do when we create a cluster is we create a cluster role, right? And then the next thing I'm thinking of is like, maybe we take this and then we say like new file subnets.go, right? And then we just do this. Because I don't, like, what I want to do is I want to be able to just say, like, I need a new this, I need a new that. And these should all be my own custom resources, right? That even if they're just simple wrappers around functions, I don't mind that. Just because they're my own, like, custom, interfaces that I can use. So, like get subnets, for example, is what we could call this. And then here we could say like EC2, boom. Args, availability zones. Okay, and so now what we can do is we can say like, now we can have like a structured type for this where we say like get subnets args, right? Struct. And then we pass in availability zones, string, VPC ID, string. I think so. Value string, yep, string, and then, yeah. What's the actual difference between just and make? I've seen you talk about just and just before. Aramis, did you watch the video I made on it? Because I literally talk about it in the video I made on the YouTubes. I see you're using Vim. Do you know what setup has to be done to use diagnostics go to next key map? It's supposed to go to the next error, but it doesn't seem to work. I have LSP set up an error. That function that function just doesn't work. Might be your LSP. I don't know if you know this or anybody else in chat fully knows that or knows this, but the TLDR is that not all LSPs support everything that like all other LSPs support, essentially. Like some supports or some LSPs don't even support mass rename. I would like, I know this is going to be kind of difficult, but if you really wanted to get the answer to that, you'd want to go to the LSP like repository and see, like it should have like a list of all of the events that it's just the TypeScript one. Oh, well then, yeah, that should totally work. If it's just the TypeScript one, then yeah, I mean, I do that all the time. So, not sure on that one. Let me think. There's actually another thing too. I don't know if this helps, but if you go to my dot files, and actually we'll go to my NixOS ones because this is what I kind of currently maintain. If we go to config nvim languages, I don't know if you're doing any of this either, but like make sure you've got like all of your capabilities set up, right? Like you can see here, I'm like setting up snippets, how they resolve. I'm like setting up range provider, the key map for it, right? Document formatting, how I format, like all of this stuff as well. As a matter of fact, I think this is the one you're talking about, right? Or no, this one. Yeah, this is the one you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I do it right here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it works, but I to be fair, I don't know if I've actually, I don't normally use that. Get subnets result. Yeah. Okay. I was confused on what that was for a second. So args availability zone. So we need the availability zone. So we're going to say args. No, wait, actually we need context. Yeah, we're going to always need the Pulumi context. And then we're going to need to args get subnet args. Like I said, chat, I want to be creating interfaces that I can reuse. So even though this is really just like a function wrapper around getting subnets, it just means that like I have a simpler interface that I can use later when I want to get subnets and stuff like that. And to be fair, this is kind of a... I try and navigate this road the best that I can, which is when do I use the native function just by its... Like when... Like I don't know if you've ever found yourself in this scenario, chat, where you're writing code and you're going like, do I need to wrap this in another function, or do I just use it to like, or do I just keep reusing the API around? And I think the thing to note about that is like, depends on what you're trying to do for starters. But remember that, you know, normally APIs are meant to be portable. Like that's the point. You use their API wherever you need to. But if you really have a need of like having a well-defined interface of your own, then I think it's okay. You know what I mean? Then I think it's okay. Or if you want to have like good opinionation around all of the things that you're writing and stuff like that, then I think it's okay as well. So yeah, you know, I'm not saying you should always do this or always not do this. I'm just saying in this case, my goal is to say like, again, I just want to pass something to a resource, some args to a resource, and then move on to the next resource. I don't want to have to worry about too much else. And so that's the goal here. How long does it take to deploy such a stack? Because CDK is so slow that it annoys me. Only as fast as the cloud provider can do it, honestly. Yeah. In all seriousness, if you're having like CDK issues, to be fair, I don't really, if you're having CDK issues, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but automation ain't one. Oh, I'm sorry. That just hit me and I had to go with it. Yeah, I don't know. I would say maybe see where the bottlenecks are. Do you just mean like Amazon CDK or Terraform CDK? Like which CDK are you talking about? DJ Busted Lines. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that kind of just came out of nowhere, so I went with it. At least you didn't drop your mic. That's true. Yeah, that's true. If CDK is going slow, you need to look at the API call. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I think you're gonna have to like what ZN Mop is saying is correct. I think you're gonna have to investigate it. TLDR. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to kind of see like where, because you really shouldn't be. Like CDK is just generating configuration and then going out to APIs and making calls, right? So if those calls are delayed, then that is very much possible, right? Like Kubernetes itself on Amazon doesn't deploy in like 6 seconds. You know what I mean? It itself takes time. And so, yeah, you know, it hangs for a minute, but I don't think that's CDK. You know what I mean? I think that's, or Pulumi. I think that's, you know, Amazon. I'm just waiting for it to provision. Git subnets args. And by the way, chat, hey, I just really want to shout this out really quickly. I just got butt dialed by somebody. That's hilarious. Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, I do want to promote this just one more time really quickly, because this is something that I really do think and believe in a lot of. Our Discord is really designed for you guys to ask questions and us all to be a part of that and, like, you know, whatever. So if we're not streaming or any of that stuff and you want to ask a question, feel free to ask them. Because I get a lot of this stuff is like, you know, there's a lot of questions and I'm trying to get to all of them, but if you feel like I miss yours, yeah, please be sure to do that. Cause I definitely respond to every question in there, as well as like other community members and stuff like that too. So, if CDK is, we used the Go CDK TF package for GCP and it was decently quick, but it takes 15 minutes to compile. Holy, seriously? 15 minutes? Sorry, I was checking on work Slack. All right, like literally fill the forums with all of your questions and I will go through all of them. Yeah, like literally fill the forums with all of it. If you got Nick's questions, our first Nick's question happened the other day. Again, the forums are new as well. I want to be clear. Like if you're like, oh, nobody's posted, it's because they're brand new. We just made them like 2 days ago. But yeah, like feel free to ask. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Tokyo? How's it going? Hello. Is this replacing the discourse wiki completely? No, it's not. No, I just I'm seeing what this can do. You know what I mean? That's really all. Is we're just experimenting right now. Args.availability zones. VPCID. Args.vpcid. Cool. Okay, and then we go here and we do subnet args. Locking stuff in the background as usual. Nice, Tokyo. I love it. I love the name. I love the commitment to the role. You know, just applying mutexes daily. Just preventing bad data being written. That's all. The usual. Love it. Honestly, don't know how I'm supposed to post to these forums. The other day I was asking front end and I just couldn't post it. Honestly, don't know how I'm supposed to post to these forums. The other day I was trying to ask a front end question and I just couldn't post it in there. Wait, are you saying in our community you don't know how to, or you said you want to ask a front end question? If it's anything not DevOps related, it'd be in projects and advice. Yeah. Projects and advice. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we've got subnets moved. Now here's the thing, like new cluster, this is one of those scenarios where like, I got you. Wait, what is this? Oh, Pulumi. Let's get this imported. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put it into its own file. Yeah. Cluster Oh, you know what? No, because this is the cluster. Okay, yeah, never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good. Add-ons. Add-ons are also related to the cluster. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Load balancer, policy document. Dude, look at the size of this thing. I wonder if we should like put our policy documents in their own in their own thing. So like maybe do like file policy.go, right? And then be like policy, boom. Cut this mamma jamma because it's just, wow, this is big. Okay. Package. Honestly, function new load balancer policy. Like, I don't mind this. I'm basically just putting huge blocks of code, though, in functions. Not exactly the most... I don't know. It should be fine. There should be a new thread button at the bottom, at the top of the forum page. Oh, dang. Is there not? Oh, I think it's at the... Oh, I guess it's like right here. Yeah, new post. I don't know. All right, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining the community. Again, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I look forward to your questions, man. Seriously, I really do. I love answering questions. So, yeah, super down. Have a good one. All right, so I don't think there's anything in here that we need to like actually inject. So let's just rename this a document. Now, what I'm like kind of doing here, Chad, is I'm really just trying to think about like where my like, you know, code and everything is, and just being like, okay, do we have a decent amount of organization around this to where I'm not just like falling through files and super confused? Yo, what's up, what's up, Thug Muffin? So this is an array of bytes. So we're going to return an array of bytes, or an error, right? Now this means that whenever I need a load balancer document, we should be good. However, here's a question. Is there anything in here related to our account specifically? I don't think so. Yeah, no, there's not. Okay. So yeah, so this is just a generic load balancer policy document. Yeah. Nice. Hell yeah. Awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that. Got it working. Thanks, chat. Chat came in strong on that one. Chat's always the MVP. Chat's the real MVP. Okay. So where's our load balancer policy document? So here's our load balancer policy, load balancer role attachment. Interesting. Load balancer policy, load balancer role. Okay, so maybe we take more of this. Maybe this isn't the load balancer policy. Maybe this is a new load balancer role, right? Because all of this is kind of attached to that. So we've got policy, name, role. Yeah, let's do all of this. Let's do all of that. I think this makes more sense to move all of this into here. Okay. Load balancer name. Okay, so new role balancer role. Now we can create a struct. So we're going to say type load balancer role args struct. And actually, let's do new in front of this. New load balancer role args name string. Is this Docker? What? No, this is Go. What are you talking about? Args name. Okay, so we're going to go down here now. We're going to pass in args. New load balancer role args. All right, there we go. Okay. Context. Let's add the context. Context Pulumi dot context. Pulumi. Yo, Pookie, how's it going? Hello, hello. Where's the link to your Vim init stuff? Oh, my dot files. Yeah, there you go. Thought it was Terraform for a second. No, I know. See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize that HCL is based off of Go. Like, a lot of people don't, like, when you look at it like this, right, it looks like Terraform, right? It does. You're not wrong at all. And like a lot of people don't know that like it's just basically knockoff Go. And like that's why I'm like, dude, just have done it. Like I feel like if Terraform, so here's what I feel. I feel like Terraform went the DSL route, the short-term configuration route, because it was the best go-to-market approach, which I think is right. You want to be able to have high user adoptability and all these other things. And I also honestly think that we were solving different problems back then. So I'm not even necessarily saying like it was expected, you know what I mean, for them to do it in code. But I think if just in the off chance, man, that they had just went, maybe we try doing this in like, you know, a programming language, I think that would have been the longer run play, just because like Go or HCL is already so close to Go. You sometimes you really do kind of like bash your head on the keyboard and go like, why can't I just use the actual language? Is that the right load balancer role document? That's what I'm calling this. Oh, okay. I see. We need to stringify this. So Pulumi.string. There we go. Jeez Louise. I am trolling today. Technically, you can configure Docker and Go. All right, calm down. Parent. Okay, so we need parent. Parent. Pulumi.resource. Someone called Go a DSL for now. I mean, if that's all you use it for, I guess. You know what I mean? You could say that. You could say that for Rust though too. Like you say that for anything. I don't know. That's it. That's an interesting take. Load balancer policy. Where did the policy document go? We just had it. Policy. Load balancer policy document. Is that this? Is this the new role balance? No, this is the role document. Yeah, this is the load balancer. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember which is which now. Hold on, let me undo all this. Okay. Load balancer role document. Load balancer policy role attachment. Is that Vim? Yo, Absence. Thank you so much for the 5 months. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for the continued support, my friend. Thank you. It's Friday, my friends. It is Friday indeed. Is this Vim? It's technically NeoVim, but yeah. So, load balancer role. Something is wrong. I'm missing something. Load balancer policy name. Let's go up to the top. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay, here we go. So this is what it was. Load balancer policy document. That's what this is. This is the load balancer policy document, right? So we're going to get rid of that. Bye-bye. Then we need the cluster OIDC issuer. Or no. Let's grab just the load balancer stuff because I think the OIDC issuer we need elsewhere. We'll grab the load balancer role policy next. Policy name. So, okay. Oh, yeah, look, we missed this. Yeah, so we went from that to here. So this is what we need. And then we do the policy name. Yeah. So that means we're probably going to have to pass the OIDC provider. Vim is the best lock screen. It really is. Okay. So this should be a little bit better now. Cluster OIDC provider. or issuer. This needs to be a Pulumi output. So we're going to go back here. We're going to say cluster OIDC issuer. And we're going to call it a Pulumi dot input. I know it's an output, but I'm calling it an input for a reason. There we go. Pulumi input. I think we might need to make this a string. Yeah. Pulumi string input is what we need that to be. And now that should... What? Pulumi output. Oh, you know what? I'm a dummy. Cluster OIDC issuer. Wait, no, that is right. Pulumi output. Here, let's just set it as a Pulumi output. There we go. That fixed it. Current. Do you guys want to know my Vim story? I can share with you my Vim story. Yeah, because it's I ended up using NeoVim because I thought I should learn the basics, just kept thinking. So I actually used to not program on code or on stream with NeoVim. I haven't always used it. We've known Prime for a while. We've known Prime for quite some time. Back when we were both much smaller streamers. And he actually used to code in just normal Vim. And I was editing in Visual Studio Code at the time, I think. You know, I'd always use like IDEs. I'd always use like Sublime, whatever, all those other ones. And so like it was just very common for me to use that type of editor, right? As I started throwing myself into the community of Twitch and just like what we have and everything we do and just, you know, what everybody else does, I really started, like you guys, I started seeing more people using Vim, Prime being one of them, and being like, okay, this is actually something I might be interested in. And so one day sure enough, I was like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I went on the internet, you know, started doing some searching and stuff like that, and I like, you know, got Vim, good old Vim, set up with like Vim script and all of that, and I hated it. I hated setting up Vim. I didn't like Vim script. I wasn't a big fan of Vim script. And like, I really wanted the same experience that like, you know, other people that had Vim had their setup. Like I saw the setups and I saw how cool they were. And I was just like, how do they get, like, how, just like you guys were, like, how do I get there? Like, I don't even know how to get there. You know what I mean? And normally when I find myself in that scenario, I like look for, I don't know, like other options and things like that. And so sure enough, I stumbled one day. I like Googled like basically like easy Vim because I had seen like all of these Vim variants out there. There's a bunch of different like Vim options. And sure enough, I stumbled across NeoVim. And again, like NeoVim wasn't a thing in the Twitch community. It wasn't something that like anybody was really Tej. You know, we were not blessed with Tej's presence yet. We hadn't even met Tej yet. And so I came in one day and you know I told Prime basically, I was like, yeah, you know, like I actually really like NeoVim. He was like, no, I'd never use NeoVim. And then I think he ended up trying it one day too and ended up really liking it, and then here we are today. But that's the real story of how I think a lot of the, you know, NeoVim side of you know what we have today is theirs, because we all kind of see each other doing things, and then we're like, oh, I kind of want to try that out. And then, somebody will do something, and then they'll do it like a little bit better or a little bit worse, like whatever. And so, yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, no, I basically picked NeoVim because I did not like the setup of regular Vim. I did not like Vim script. I thought Lua was a lot nicer, which I think it is still. And so, yeah. But that's the story, chat. That's the story. AWS caller identity result. Caller identity. AWS caller, get caller identity result. Yeah, I think that's right. Is your Quirk bot private or can anyone use it? Anyone can use it. Yeah, anyone can use it. It's just invite only at the moment. Thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's public. It's public. Teach doesn't come until season 3 with a brief until season 4 with a brief cameo in season 3. That's awesome. I love that. Listen, man, we across the board, across the board, I think one thing we can all agree upon is we've got some pretty awesome content creators in the software and gaming community. We really do. We really do, man. It's pretty awesome. The people we get to stream with and stuff like that. It's cool. I dig it. I like it a lot. Okay, how are we doing? We're still refactoring while we're talking, chat. We're still okay. So I need the parent. So parent pulumi.resource. Give me 1 second, chat. Let me check Slack. Sorry about that, chat. Had to check my Slack. I was getting messages. Yo, Senpai, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. NeoVim seems interesting. I've still not left VS Code Vim with Vim extension, but definitely considering it. Don't feel pressure to use any of these things. Like, any good content creator should also be able to tell you that you should try these at your own paces, and you know what I mean. Like, don't feel pressured to do any of these things. If you're making money doing what you love and enjoying yourself, you don't need to do any of this. Honestly, you really don't. Most of the reasons why we all do these things are because we're interested in learning things and trying things and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, like don't feel pressured that you have to do these things, because you don't. Role attachment, policy, role bouncer role, bouncer name, got it. Yeah, pretty much. Just having fun. That's the real main appeal for NeoVim for me, at least. But how did you make yourself so proficient using NeoVim? I'll let that one pass because I know what you're referencing there. I love Prime so much, but God, he is like really gotten good at sexualizing almost like just making you feel slightly uncomfortable about it when you say it. It's like okay, I love it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's what we mean. That's what we mean. Indeed, and that's not a diss. That's not a diss. It's just funny. I've never seen somebody turn technology into so many double entendres. That's the best way I could put it. I've truly never in my career seen so many people turn, or one person turn so many technical jargon into double entendres, and it's honestly impressive at some regards. Like it really is. It really is. Like even I'm like, oh god, bro, like come on, you just hit me with one. You didn't get back. Like yeah, fair enough. I walked into that one myself. The Stack Overflow, that is a pretty good one. Yo, Paco, what's up? How's it going? You guys. I love it. I love it. And see, this is why we're the wholesome channel. Somebody's got to do it, chat. Somebody's got to be the channel that's just chill. I recently solved a similar problem to deploy EKS using IAM credentials via service accounts. I created a TF module with this argument service account name. Yep. And now you have a nice reproducible way of doing it, right? At least I think that's where you're getting with that. And yeah, this is why I'm doing it as well. Yeah. Okay, new load balancer role. So we've got our policy document, our role document, right? Both of our documents. We've then got our policy name, right? Actually, I think this should be load balancer role name. Yeah, role name. Oh, really? I use Kitty on Mac all the time. Yeah, I use Kitty as well. What else we got? Undeclared document. So here's the thing. I don't think after we do like the role creation and stuff, we need to actually do anything with it. So we've got our subnets, our cluster, our add-on. I'm almost thinking we need to create the role before we do the add-ons. You know what I'm saying? Because then the add-on should at least provision properly. Now that we've got these blocks, in a really easily usable, like movable way, this is really nice because now I can do that. I can be like, okay, where do I want what to happen, first? Let's rename this to caller identity. That's technically what this is. Okay, and then let's do new load balancer role context, and then we need new load balancer role args. Walrus, new load balancer role args. Yep, just like that. And then what do we got? We got caller identity, right? Which is our caller identity, right? So that's good. We've got our cluster OIDC issuer. So here's our cluster OIDC issuer. There we go. Cluster OIDC issuer. Right? And then load balancer role args. Do I actually need the role though? Right? Like that's the question, is like, do we actually need the role? Look at that. We just got rid of the whole stinking IAM policy module because we don't need it anymore. I love it. Hey, can I just say this really super fast? Everybody, can I just have your attention for 1 second? Thank you for being here. That's all. Go about your business. That's all. Thank you for being here. And I hope you're having a good Friday. For one, tried Nix, didn't bother with GUI apps on Mac. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for the hearts. We love you too. We love you too. Seriously, hope you guys are having a good Friday. I hope it's a good start to a good kick weekend. You know what I mean? Man, I hope it is a kick-ass weekend. I get to chat. I'm gonna go see the Gorillas this weekend. Woo! I'm hyped. I am so hyped, chat. I'm gonna go see the Gorillas this weekend. I'm gonna feel like I'm 13 again. It's gonna be great. Rip her. Not that. Not that Gorillas. not that one. Not that one. Although rip Harambe, indeed. Remember, kids, virtualization is great. Yes, you're not wrong there. Yeah. Tried Nix, didn't even bother with GUI apps on Mac. I'm back to Brew though. Fair enough. What made you go to Nix and then go back to Brew, if you don't mind me asking? I just want to share a thing. I just want to share the thing. Oh, just thing that you tested. If you could totally change. Really? Yes. You want to know something? What's funny, Destro? I haven't even done that yet. Yeah, I Destro, sorry, I had to respond to somebody at work really quickly. I haven't even done that yet. I made a video on something that I told you guys you should do that I haven't even done yet. So that's dope. You are already so far ahead of the game, man. Like, I can't tell you how many, like, a lot of people saw that video and they kind of went like, I don't fully get it. And I think part of it was just because it was a little bit faster. Like, I purposely edited it quicker. But I think when you start, like, the purpose of that video was for you to be able to take those tools, take a step away, and then be like, I wonder what I can do with this. You know what I mean? And it just makes me super happy, Destro, that you were able to do that, man. That's so dope. Yeah, that's very, very cool. And I hope it's working well for you guys. Like, I hope I hope you guys got like the portability and like again, just like everything I talk about in that video. Like, I'm sure it's a lot nicer to handle all that stuff. Totally okay. I was just starting to create some pipelines and it helped a ton. Since we have some Windows and Mac tools, I can use just a simple just file that handles everything for both. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Congratulations. That's very cool. I'm honestly, that's one of the things that's tough about putting out stuff on YouTube. It's, it's a little nerving when like you want to make sure that you're also like, I don't ever want to make a YouTube video just to make it seem like I'm trying to talk about something, like I'm not just trying to make a video about things. I one of the reasons we don't put out as many videos as I wish we did is just simply because what's it called? I want it to be things I'm passionate about. And like those 3 videos we have out right now, how to automate your dev setup with Ansible, how to, get started developing with Nix, and like, the pipeline stuff or the task file stuff. Like those are all things I've literally discovered myself, like, learned myself, and then taken those and been like, okay, now I can educate other people that way too, hopefully. Any good videos on workflow with Mac OS and Vim? That's a good question. I don't know about that one. Yeah. I would ask chat there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I figured, but I didn't want to be presumptuous there. I don't have any differences with it, but that's just because, as they said, I do that too. One second, chat. I'm responding to somebody on Slack at work. Give me 1 second. Hang on, guys. I'm helping somebody at work. Tmux is dope. I use it as well. And I was able to more or less create a pipeline template just file that can be used across the project. Yes, dude. Yes. Seriously. Same thing. Like, yes. And then you can template them and yeah. Dude, hell yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good way to do it. Property service. Damn it. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Unrelated, but why is installing cross compile such a pain? Because it cross compiles things. That'd be my answer. Main. Nope, that's not where I want to be. Entry point. New cluster. Yep. Okay, here we go. So cluster role, subnets, cluster itself, caller identity, cluster OIDC issuer, load balancer role. Load balancer role error. If load balancer role error is not equal to nil, then we return, oh geez, oh gosh, oh geez, let's try that again. And we return load balancer role error. What? Oh, nil, sorry. Nil, there we go. Okay, so now we have our cluster role, our subnets, our cluster itself, our load balancer role, worker security group, name, ingress security groups, worker security group, VPN security group name, VPN security group, node groups. Okay, we're going to take all of this and we're going to say, we're going to create our worker security group with this. Worker security group. .go. Func new worker security group. Okay. Okay. Yep. Package. Yep. All right. Let's start fixing stuff. Yep. Arg's name. Okay. So we're going to say type new worker security. Oh my gosh. Group args. Struct. Name string. Args new worker security group args. Pulumi.context. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Cluster VPC config dot cluster security group ID. Okay, so we're gonna say cluster security group ID, and this is going to be what? Oh man, come on now. All right, we'll just do it here. This is a Pulumi PTR output. Pulumi PTR or string PTR output. There we go. And so now we should be able to do this and args dot. There we go. Like that. Missing new line. What? As long as butterfly Max come with ZSH by default now. Yes, they do. Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing now. Missing before new line. What? Here, let's get rid of you for a second. No, something else is wrong if that's the case. Yeah, that's right. There it is. Okay, so all apply to, wait, what? Dude, how am I doing this? Oh my god. I am so confused right now. Oh, okay. I see. It's this. There we go. Okay. I was like, whoa, I'm so confused. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. We're good now. We're good now, chat. We're good. Nothing's wrong. You're freaking out. I'm not. Args VPC ID and args parent. Okay. So we need to do VPC ID. Right? And then we also need parent Pulumi.resource. And then args okay. Calmer than you are. Calmer than you are. Ingress. Be cooler if you were. Too many values. Do we need to return anything? Yeah, we do. We do need to return the security group itself. VPN security group error. VPN security group name. Worker security group. Here it is. Okay, so here's the actual security group. Worker security group. Yeah. So let's go down to the bottom. We'll say return worker security group nil. And we'll say that we're going to return a worker security group and an error. So we'll go back up to the top, go over here, EC2 security group, I think. Yeah, and then error, right? Okay. VPC config, this is the same thing. We need to do args dot cluster group ID elim. Yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh. You have failed me, autocomplete. Cool. Okay. Cool. So yeah, wow. That was a lot that we just like ripped out of there. Cluster. So let's see. What did we get? We got this. Yep. Got this. Got all of this. Got this. Right. And then we also got VPN security group name, VPN security group. Boom. Okay, cool. So now let's say, oh, you know what? Hold on. Wait a minute, what? How does this work? Worker security group name. Ingress security groups. Ingress security group. Worker security group. Worker security groups. Right? Cluster security group ID. Okay, so what we do is we take the original cluster security group ID, we create an array, and then we put that as one of the things that can access the workers, as well as, yeah, so you see here how we've got like security, ingress args, 002 self. So it's saying anything on its own security group is allowed to talk to itself, as well as anything on the worker security group. So that's good. We then create the security group rule. We look up the VPN security group and we attach it. But what's odd is I don't see like how this relates at all. Mostly because like I don't see us passing down the security group. You know what I'm saying? Like here's the node group right here. And I don't think there's any way that we can add security groups here. So I'm like trying to remember how they like attach to each other. BG, you don't use unit tests really, do you? Would you even bother testing things like this? I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to make sure you're writing like good code. You can allow security groups to talk to it. Yeah, no, I know. I'm more so just trying to understand why I'm creating this worker security group, because I just might not need it. You know what I mean? It's more so that I think I'm creating one more than I need. But I don't know yet. But yeah, so basically chat, yeah, no, I don't. I really don't. You know, I've tried like being like, yeah, eventually I'll do it. Yeah, totally. But no, I really don't. I wish I did more, but I lean on other ways of like writing good code. Like for example, I use type safety everywhere. Like I like type safe languages. Type safety is it's very underrated. When you're first getting started to programming stuff, type safety is massively underrated. Just comparatively to like what value you get out of it. You get a lot of value out of type safety. And I lean on that value often. Yeah, I mean, I write tests when I need to, like when it's like logic that's really important. You know what I mean? Like if it's detrimental to the systems, I think that's really like, yeah, you should do that. But no, I'm not a big unit tester. No, I'm really not. I'm a big integration tester. I don't think it's bad. Like, I don't think it's bad. I wish, again, that's why I said, like, I wish I was better at it. You know what I mean? Because it's not, I'm not saying, it's like getting a college degree. It's like, it's nice to have, but you don't necessarily need it. You know, I hate to put it that way, but it's kind of true. Like, so that's kind of how I look at it. Like I have not gotten to the point where I super needed them. Hold on one second. Okay, so here's our networking. We have our 2 subnets. We have our cluster security group, which we're aware of. Hold on. Okay, so here's our computes right here in our node group. Hold on. Okay. So this has got security groups, EKSSG. Okay, what I don't understand is how the security group I just created relates to these instances. Oh my God, that might be the reason why it's not working. Okay. Okay, that's fair. Pulumi EKS node group. Launch templates? Yeah, it should be in the launch template. You're not wrong. And I'm not applying it, which makes me think that it's just, they're just not getting there at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, that's the thing is I don't want to have to make a whole freaking launch template. Node group resource. Where's that? Resources, outputs, resources. Arguments are supported, resources. List of objects containing about underlying resources. Remote access security group ID. Yeah, we need a way of providing access. We need to punch a hole through the existing node group or the existing cluster like security group ID. Yeah, no, you're fine. And there's 2 options the way we can do this. Like there's actually a way we could do this where we don't need to touch that at all. And it's just literally use the original cluster security group and apply to it. And I'm thinking that might be what we want to do. Hold on, let's try one more thing really quickly. Will this work? Okay, it will. I just want to run this and see like what it's missing, because it's definitely going to say like it wants to delete stuff. Yeah, okay. So okay, yeah. So we got to fix this. So role policy and policy document. You see this? Role policy attachment, policy, role, all of this should be these. So we need to fix those really quickly. Also, apparently we're not giving the name somewhere, so we need to fix that too. Oh, did we not? Yeah, we didn't give this a name or a parent. Okay, so name would be args.name. Parent would be args.parent. And that was here. It might be enough. But yeah, you're right. They're definitely in the launch templates. There we go. So you see now we've got a security group rule, a security group, and another security group rule. So everything else is being created the same. It's just that section. Hang on. Never mind. It doesn't tell me anything. I thought it was going to give me more information. Let's go look at the actual security groups themselves. EC2. Security groups. Okay. So we've got the EKS cluster one, which is this one right here. And this one's got like 22 permissions. It's all like custom, you know, written and stuff. Edit inbound rules. Okay, so we're going to cancel out of this really quickly. Let's go to Alta4 VPN. Okay, so Alta4 LLC worker. Excuse me. So the worker, and then we have EKS. We've got too many security groups here. I don't know what all these, like, this is what I mean. Like, the VPN one makes sense because that's on the VPN service. That's fine. And then the VPN needs to be able to connect to the EKS cluster. God, I hate security groups, dude. Seriously, I really do. They're so annoying. Like, they're just, ugh. They're so annoying. Okay, yeah, here we go. So here on the cluster, we give access to the VPN. On this security group right here. And if we go here, 203. Okay, so this is the security. So that means that VPN services. How are you liking Pulumi? We are using Terraform and struggling a bit with trying to keep things up to date all the time. I like Pulumi for scale. I like Pulumi for scale, and I like it for customization and, like, you know, a lot of the things that, again, you can try and achieve with Terraform, but I think having a language just makes it easier. You know what I mean? So I guess what I mean to say is if you're constantly saying to yourself, man, I wish I had a programming language. Man, I wish I had a programming language. Man, I wish I had a programming language. Yeah, that might be a good time to investigate. Even Terraform CDK. You know what I mean? This might be a stupid question. Terraform Pulumi are used to provision cloud machines in a similar way to Ansible could be provisioned local machines, right? No, Ansible doesn't provision anything. If like real talk, if people are using Ansible to provision things, they're not really using it the way it should be. Ansible is a configuration like tool. It's made for configuring, so it will configure VMs for you. But I personally don't think you should be creating cloud resources with Ansible. I don't think that's a good approach. How are you defining provision? Provision means to create, not to update, right? So brand new resources are provisioned. Resources are then, you know, updated after they're provisioned. So, okay, so here's another question then. How are we attaching the VPC node group? Yeah, it's got to be in this VPN. Yeah, VPN security group, new security group rule. Security source, security group ID. Okay. Oh, here it is, chat. There it is. So this gives access to the cluster itself. Here it is right here, chat. Look. VPN security group error, right? This isn't actually a security group. This is technically a VPN security group rule error. And what it's doing is in the existing cluster security group right here, it's assigning the VPN security group so that it can actually allow VPN connections over to the cluster. I don't know what this does though. And I'm almost willing to go out on a limb and say that the worker security group actually does nothing. I'm actually I think all of this does nothing. Yeah. Like, I think we made it. Oh, wait, no, hold on. No, this does do something. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. Yes, it does. It does. Oh. We don't need this. Yeah, we don't need this. I see. So what's happening here, Chad, is I'm creating a worker security group that I eventually wanted to attach to the workers. But because I'm also letting EKS create the security group and manage it itself, we have two security groups. And what I need to do is I'm either needing to say, hey, you guys keep managing this the way that you want, or I'm going to create this security group myself, and I don't want to do that with all these. So I think we're going to get rid of this. Yeah, I think we get rid of that. And I think we just do this. Yeah, I think we just do this. And actually, now that we have this, we can even go back here and we can go like this. Right? Because like, I don't really think we need, like, it's a rule, you know what I mean? Like, these are already existing things. So this is okay not to like super, you know, abstract away. EC2 R's cluster. I don't remember what I passed that in. Cluster group. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. So it should be, I think it's like cluster. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. Where was the cluster security group? Network config, identities, encryption. Ah, dang it. This has got to be on the cluster. Like, it's got to be. Right? Like, cluster dot certificate, custom resource state, identities, network config, maybe? Nope. Dude, where was this value? Created at name, certificate authorities, identities, resource state, VPC config. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. There we go. What does this want? A string input? PTR dot. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, and now we don't need this AW or worker security group thing at all. We'll go back here, internal AWS, boop, 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 boop. Right, save this up. Let's try this one more time. Update. Update. There we go. Yep, there we go. So yeah, so now it's going to delete the security group rule and the security group. Hang on one second. Okay, so it's going to delete the security group rule and this security group as well. Got a jet. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, of course. No worries. Thank you for hanging out, Scotty. Appreciate you. Okay, so it's going to delete this one, which is fine because we're not using it anyways. This isn't even attached to anything. This isn't Tokyo Night. If you think this is Tokyo Night, you're wrong. I've never written Go. Does your Vim error highlighting come from Go, or is it some custom config for LSP? I'm specifically talking about the visual representation. Obviously, the context comes from LSP. Oh, no, I use something. It's a plugin. What's it called? Chat, you know this. You guys answer this question all the time. Config and Vim. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. It's called LSP Lines, I think. Yeah, I think it's LSP Lines. Yeah, this is it right here. There you go. If this is what you're talking about, yeah, it's that. We could do this. All right. Yeah. Enjoy. Boom. Yeah. And like, here's the thing though, chat. We know that that wasn't being used because it immediately was able to be deleted. So yeah, it's definitely not being used at all. We're probably also going to be able to delete, honestly, the other one as well. We have one for the cluster too, I think. Nope, never mind. Where's that EKS security group coming from then? Security group. VPN, that's a lookup though. New security group rule. Huh. I'm curious to know where this got created, this Alta4 LLC EKS thing. Oh, this is Cat Poussin. Sorry, the theme I use is yeah, it's Cat Poussin, whatever. I don't know, dog. Listen, they knew what they were doing when they named this theme. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, no, I actually use this now. I talked about this before. I love Tokyo Night. I really do. I've used it for years, actually. And ironically, right around the time period where Prime was, gonna do his thing, all the reviews and whatnot, I was also kind of getting to the point where I was like, I kind of want something new. Now, I love Tokyo Night. You know what I mean? I love like the purples and like the cyberpunk-esque feel. So I didn't want to step too far away from that. Obviously, like my background's that, stuff like that. And so I had Cat Poussin had been brought up before as well too on our stream too, and it was something I left in my tabs actually. I don't know if it's still in here. I might have deleted it. But yeah, it was like one of the ones that I just had sitting in here, and so I was like, you know what, man, like I'm gonna be real. When things start getting popular, I kind of check out. I like trying new things and like being like, okay, well, now that I know everyone's using this, I'm going to try something else. And so I really liked the macchiato Cat Poussin because it was very close to Tokyo, which again, I love Tokyo. I'm not saying I don't love Tokyo, but it does have like slight variance and like some of them are a little bit more muted, like the green. Some other ones are a little bit more, I don't know. I liked this a bit better. Again, it is very similar to Tokyo Night, but it's not actually the same thing. Yo, Thirsty, thank you, buddy, for the follow. I appreciate that. Isn't it meant to be like cappuccino pronunciation? I don't know. Cappuccino. I don't know. I guess that makes sense. I have no idea. They named it. It's just a weird name, dude. Like bottom line, it's just a weird name. That's the best way I can put it. I want to go to, hold on, Z Network. 1 second, chat. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize I was in my BRB screen still. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. Seriously, like real talk. All of you here right now, it sucks to put Kubernetes on. It sucks to put Kubernetes on Amazon. It's not a fun experience. uh, I I have done it without module. I can honestly say I have done it without modules. I have taken it like as a cloud administrator would, piece by piece. I have built workflows, or I've built like charts around understanding it. I've created multiple layers of automation to like dude, seriously, I could literally go into a room full of like Amazon engineers and be like, it's not good. Like it's none of you can convince me that it's good. Getting it up and avail like I know it handles everything for you, but yeah, like it is like here's the thing. Sure, they handle the control plane, but honestly, they should handle everything else. Or at least like the networking as well. And like it's just it's shit, man. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. It's it is. It's not good. This is ridiculous, man. Kubernetes is one of the leading technologies out there for people to want to use, and I'm a little baffled at just how like essentially my feelings on it now after doing this is like you kind of have to be me. Like or like do what I do to do it like the right way. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying you can't get it deployed, but like to get it deployed in a way that makes like scalable. Like it's just the networking and like just the firewalling. Like I thought you were going to with Azure. Oh, we're not. So it's okay. So a couple things. Agile, I'm sure you understand this as well as like a lot of people who are who are, entrepreneurs or business people or stuff like that. Money's a big play in a lot of things. And we don't have any benefits with Azure. Like, I want to be clear with that. Like, we don't have any kickbacks. Like, we do the sponsored streams because we enjoy doing them and we get paid for those. But we don't have like any Azure credits or anything like that. And when we first created our company, Alta4 LLC, we like reached out to a bunch of different places. We were like, hey, like we're a company, and one of them was Azure. I'm sorry, one of them was Amazon. And Amazon actually has this really great program for new companies, where you can like apply for like $1,000 a year or $2,000 or more in credits for the platform. And like we just kind of went like, who knows? Maybe, it might work out, might not. I think it's called AWS Activate. Yeah, Activate. And we were like, whatever, we'll give it a shot. Sure. Whatever. Right. And sure enough, Amazon, threw money at us. Not a lot. We're in this. I want to be clear. We are in active founders. We are a very small company. So like, we just got like the 1350 thing. Right. But like, this was enough for us to be like, okay, like, they've given us some money now to where we can at least like 1350 is like at least a few months of Kubernetes hosting and other things as well. So we're going to try it all. We're going to do Azure, which we've already done. We're doing it Amazon now, and we're going to do GKE next. Like, we're actually going to do all three, but we'll probably stay on Amazon just because we have that kickback now. And yeah, money's a big play when we talk about cloud. One second, chat. Hold on. Sorry, chat. We're missing some keys. I was trying to find some keys. Why are you naming errors and not just error? Because if you name all your errors just one error, you're technically redefining it. And so you can actually pass an error to another error by accident. And so when you only return an error, it's good to have a like a unique value for that so that there's not a collision. Like, for example, if this happened here, we would stop here, right? And to be fair, like this should honestly even be like cluster error. Because if there was another error up here that happened by itself, then it could be populated down here. And you know, like if for some reason, I don't know, we, you know, got past that, but then got down here, you could accidentally return the wrong error, essentially. So when you just return an error, you normally, like this is only when you just return an error itself. When you turn like something and an error, normally it's fine because what'll happen is it'll return both, and then the next thing will immediately fail, and it'll never get to that next error. But if you have only one thing returning, right, then you may, you know, if you don't do this, you could pass it down your logic and stuff. So I just do it as a, you know, making sure I don't have any types of collisions with my errors. I'm a DevOps noob, so I don't even know whether it's better, easier on Azure or yeah. I mean, it's like, listen. So the price of a headache is $13.50. I mean, yeah, kind of. Listen, when you're a startup, when you're a new startup, yes. Yeah. I would say if we're talking about Kubernetes, it's way easier to deploy to Azure. Yeah, it's way easier to deploy to Azure than Amazon. Like I'm still in some ways bashing my head against trying to figure out how to deploy this stupid thing. So if that helps anything, chat. Yes, I am using EKS managed nodes groups, yeah. Which I know even that's like an option in its own, right? Where I could be like, oh, well, I'll just like bring on my own node group provider or whatever. But like right now, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to get a Kubernetes cluster up with like no module, you know, no like pre-built modules or anything like that. Like I'm literally going through the docs step by step, looking like, okay, like, look at this, dude, look at this nonsense I have. Like, look at this, like random IAM policies for node groups and node group, like extra role attachments. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so ridiculous the amount of granularity you have just to have to do this. One line of CDK. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, yeah. Oh, my back just cracked. Actually, probably not for the VPC. No, it definitely would not be. Yeah, there's no way it would be one line total. There's no way. I don't know why Amazon doesn't create all of this too. Like, I'm going to be super serious with you. If we're being serious, chat, again, if we're being real. Fuck if I know, dude. Like, Azure does it. ES Control does. Yes, ES Control does now, but ES Control hasn't even, or EKS Control hasn't even been around forever. You know what I mean? They have Terraform modules, but yes, exactly. And that's why I did not want to use a Terraform module, was because I knew that we run those Terraform modules at my work. That's why I know that they suck. Because we run those at work. Yeah, look at this, chat. Farts. We had to make our own. Welcome to where we are. Like, yep. Basically doing the same thing. So here's what's interesting, chat. Okay, let me ask you guys, any of you guys out there who are like EKS nerds and stuff like that on Azure or on Amazon, if you create a launch template, like, can you just use the normal AMI, or do you have to use their EKS optimized AMI that like potentially charges you and stuff? Like, the only thing that makes me worried about a launch template is like, I'm not going to have some type of like magical, you can use your own, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to use my own. I want to use theirs. Charges, I don't get it. Amazon has like optimized images Experior that are like, they're charged by licensing. Some of them do. Some of them, not all of them. You can use any AMI, but the EKS node AMI is easy to set up. I don't think they charge. Okay, they don't. Okay, good. Based on Amazon Linux. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because that's the only other way we could do the. That'd be evil, dude. I'm just saying, man. They do in some places. Like, you have to pay for the operating. Like Windows, for example. I don't think you do. Yeah. Hang on one second, chat. Hang on, chat. I need to help. I need to help find something really quickly. Give me 1 second. Yo, sorry about that, chat. We are struggling with Calico and networking and connectivity. It sucks. Yeah. Networking in general with or Kubernetes can be annoying. I will say right now I'm not super worried about it, but I think in the near future we're probably going to move to launch like an actual launch template that we'll make. Right now I'm really not worried about it. Like I'll keep this file, but we're not going to use it. But I think in the future, I don't know. We'll see. Security wants pod-to-pod network policies. Oh my god. Good luck with that, dude. That sucks. Okay. That's a serious GLHF right there. That's a tough one. Update. I told them we should just use a service mesh and be, yeah, literally. I mean, that's what a service mesh does. Yeah, you literally should do that, as a matter of fact. You should tell them, instead of being stupid and trying to recreate a service mesh, which is literally what this is, let's just create a service, or let's just use a service mesh. Seriously, I would so do that in a heartbeat. Tell them to bugger off. Maybe don't do that, but unless you have valid reasons. So it's just AWS CNI. Also get rid of Calico in favor of service mesh. So it's just, yeah, I don't see any reason why you couldn't do that. Yeah. Simplify, right? Kiss. You got kiss and you got tits. All right. See, this is what you do, chat. You're welcome. Please take that back to his chat. Please take that back to his chat and tell him that we created that here. The dynamic duo. The dynamic duo. Please do that for me, chat. I would absolutely love that. Registering the domain right now. I'm gonna tell him kiss plus tits. Exactly, man. You just I can't say it loud. You just gotta kiss tits, man. You guys are terrible. I can't do it. You guys truly are degens. Truly degens. Did you really buy that? Nice. I love it. If you actually bought that, I love that. I love it. I'm about to. That's a good one. It's a good one. You're welcome. You're welcome, chat. You're welcome. I'm glad we could do our degen contribution of the day. So yeah, so that's my only thing is like, so okay, so with what the setup we've got right now, right? We've got four instances running our VPN service, which is in a very small T3A micro, and then we've got our 3 nodes for EKS, right? Now I can actually connect to our EKS cluster because we have VPN inside of it running with TwinGate. So if I do TwinGate start, right? Status, hold on. Oh, never mind. I guess I'm already connected. Okay, cool. And so now if I do EKS update, yeah, there we go. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do K9s. Hold on. Dang it, man. This is so annoying. I might literally have to restart this computer to get this to do what I want it to. And I don't want to have to do that, but I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, exactly. Got to make sure they know. I wish TwinGate had better support for their freaking Linux VM or their Linux. Yes. Oh my God. I want to sign in. Let me sign in. Why aren't you loading the stupid sign in page? Oh my God. Hang on. Dude, come on, TwinGate. Status. Dude, I should be getting a URL. Why is my URL not returning? See this right here? Sign in. Yes, and so you click on that, and then it should bring me to... Oh my God, I'm gonna freaking scream my mouth out. Dude, I hate... Like, sometimes TwinGate is actually... This is also an older version, too, so... Resources, report, help, setup, TwinGate, stop, start. User authentication is required. Yes, I am aware of that. I am so aware of that. You know how aware of that I am? When I do this, you're going to prompt me. Why? Okay, help me with something, chat. Why do none of my notifications when I click on them open my freaking Firefox? I hate this so much when this happens. I don't even know. XGG Open does work. Yeah. I mean, it should. Yeah, see? It works. And it sends it to Chrome or Firefox even, right? Like... So, I don't understand why this is happening. Does Firefox have streamer mode like Discord? No, I don't think so. Wish it did. It'd be nice. All right, I'm not going to deal with this right now. I think I'm actually going to call it, guys. I've been going for like almost 3.5 hours. We've had a good stream. But I need to, yeah, I think it's probably Dunst or something stupid like that. But I think we're at the point now where we're really done automating our Kubernetes cluster. We've pretty much got all of the stuff we need. We have everything provisioned now, and it's up and running. And so we really just need to like debug it now. Make sure we can connect to it, things like that. And like I said, I can connect to it, but I don't know why, like Dunst or again, whatever's freaking out right now, but it's just not letting me authenticate via VPN. So I'm kind of dead in the water at the moment. I can't really do anything else until I can actually connect to the VPN and then like use the kube controls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys seriously so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I know I did start a little later today, so thank you guys for hanging out nonetheless. Again, if you came from Prime's raid earlier, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. We are if you don't know anything about us, we are a co-hosted stream, basically co-hosted by myself, BG, as well as my good friend Atoda. During the week, you get to hang out with me. We work on more advanced things like DevOps, infrastructure, creating services, all that good stuff. And then on the weekend, tomorrow especially, you get to hang out with Atoda, who's brand new to programming. He's learning a lot of the newer things like how to build front ends, how to build back ends, how to connect those two together. So if you ever have questions about more advanced stuff, you're more than welcome to hang out with me during the week. Or if you have questions about your brand new beginner and you want to see what that's like, check out the stuff on the weekend too. We have a really great time here. So thank you again so much for hanging out. If you are also new to our community, please be sure to check out our Discord. Our Discord is focused on helping you guys, and I want to be very clear on that. We just recently got access to the forum stuff. This is something that we just made recently, and as you can tell, people are already using it, which is awesome. So if you guys have questions, anything like that you guys want help with, feel free to jump in. If you have feedback as well on how we can help you better, please let us know too. Dear say thank you for the 100 biddies. And again, remember, we also have our YouTube. This is something new that we are working on, but we talk about a lot of things on here. We talk about like automation, right? We talk about Nix. We talk about a lot of different things here. And so if you're curious about the things that, I'm interested in making content on, the more cultivated content for DevOps, be sure to check out our YouTubes. This one is very new. We are growing it, and I have a lot of really cool videos that I'm making for this. So I hope you guys are, going to check that out, as well as, honestly, if you just miss a VOD and you're like, hey man, I want to make sure I go back and check something, go check out the VODs. We have the Alta 4 archives, and this is where you can actually go back, look through every VOD. VODs are posted daily as well, so just know that VODs are posted daily, so you should not miss much. Outside of that, we do have social media. I'm getting used to being on Twitter and all of that stuff. So every now and then you might see me talking to Prime or a bunch of other streamers as well. So if you guys are interested in following us on any of those things, again, Discord, YouTube, or subscribe on YouTube, or follow us on Twitter. Would love to see you guys. But regardless, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You guys are awesome. Seriously, we have the best community on the platform. I hope we can keep it that way. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I hope I see you tomorrow for a Totus stream. And if not, I just hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's go raid somebody. Let's go raid. Let's see here. Who should we raid? Oh, perfect. Let's go raid Large Data Bank. If you guys do not know Large Data Bank, they are a very, 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 very cool and very, very intellectual and talented person. Amaranth is on. We know them through streaming, but they also work on a little thing called CockroachDB. So if you've never heard of, or maybe you have heard of CockroachDB, let's go raid Large Data Bank. He's really, really cool. We were talking about databases earlier and stuff like that. So he's got all sorts of information you can share with him on databases and stuff. And he's working in Go. So, two birds, one stone, right? Or one bird, two birds, one stone? Yeah, that's it. Whatever. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out. Enjoy Large Data Bank stream, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. If not, I hope to see you in the community. Love you guys. Have a good one.